Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous darkness of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I'm joined as ever by Robbie, Prince of Darkness Bellekom, Sam, Prince of Darkness Burns, and Ellie,
Yes.
Prince of Dirkness Sparrow.
Yeah, I'm Dirk.
Dirk, as in, like, the knife?
Yeah, the Scottish dagger.
bloke's name?
Oh, right. Okay.
Or possibly I'm Dirk with
Okay,
a
not the
Dirk.
person.
Dirk.
Dirk.
The dirkiest Dirk to whoever wielded Dirk.
Yep.
Dirk.
Everything the Dirk touches is yours,
Your
my son.
kingdom.
Oh no, what's Dirk been
What about that shithole over there?
That's Stockport. We do not go there.
That's what Cinder says, right? Basically.
Insert English town of your choice.
Insert English town you were brought up in.
Yeah.
Basically.
Like, that is Slough. We do not go there.
That's insert Slough where you were brought up, honestly.
Yeah.
Or Stockport, for that matter, actually. It's a hole.
Speaking of holes, it's time we
Yay!
It's time we tunnel through causality and demand, future us, what messages from the present? It's Future Jason with messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members on the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. You can check it out at patreon.com/flintlocks-and-fireballs, link in the description. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason. Dirk.
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 Wait, I'm not certain.
I thought you were starting off with, like, Space Invaders there.
I'm actually not sure.
It went like the George of the Jungle music in my head for a moment.
That might be what I was closer to.
Dirk of the Highlands.
Aww.
And I think that's enough dirking around.
I think we're running out of shit for this intro. We should probably just start, to be honest.
Flintlocks and Fireballs. Dirk. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have now acquired 3, I believe, of the 5 totems needed to stabilise Wayne Manor and return and re-anchor it to the mortal world. The 4th the location of the 4th is known to them, ready to be traded for a cure, apparently, to vampirism. The last time the party essentially ran through the crumbling, burning Library of Alexandria as they made their way through the falling archives, trying to retrieve what information and treasures they could before an ancient and irreplaceable repository of knowledge was lost forever to the void. They were at least successful in their objectives. Those being to retrieve a blank seeker compass, a cure for vampirism, the lost totem, and unexpectedly acquire a number of answers regarding the ultimate designs and weaknesses of the Krakens, as well the Kraken singular, as well
Please
as
don't make them more than one.
That'll
no,
be a
there's
late-stage plot twist.
God, imagine that as a twist. There's 5 of them.
no, there's emphatically one Kraken. It's kind of a founding pillar of the campaign.
Yeah.
On top of that, and indeed also achieving some unexpected personal revelations here and there as well, about family members or otherwise. With having found the objects that they were looking for, the party teleported all the way back to Wayne Manor, where they engaged in a certain amount of artifact identification, some more than others, before crashing to sleep. It is, according to your candle clocks, 9 a.m. on the 27th of Falling Leaves, when, more or less evenly with each other, you awaken. Scamp, you awaken to find yourself still on the chaise longue you fell asleep on, with 4 plates of basically toad in the hole next to you, a fresh hot toad in the hole, and Squintworth standing there. Your bed of sausages, young master!
I love that you remembered that.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Yes. My friend, the little one, wants a bath of coffee prepared.
Oh, wow.
A bath of coffee for a bed. Very good! Squidward flickers and is gone.
Well, I'm sure that will be fine.
Corzin. Because it was going to be either Corzin or Jeffrey,
There.
the little one would
yeah.
identify us, and I think Squintworth would go Corzin. You awaken to the rich scent of coffee. Roll over in the bed you've taken in Wayne Manor, and you can see that a copper bathtub is full of freshly brewed coffee for you.
So,
Your coffee,
next
young
to me on the
master!
bed.
You've roll a luck check.
Okay. That's a 10.
You do not roll into the coffee.
Okay.
It is from the side of the bed, in the way that if you had rolled off the other side of the bed, you would have rolled into the coffee.
Thank you. I think.
The young master indicated that you would like a bath full of coffee, young master.
Thank you. I'll deal with this. Corzin will.
Scones and biscuits have been made available as well. You look forward and you can see there is a chamber pot next to it filled with freshly baked scones.
Oh, that's off-putting.
Yeah, the chamber pot is perfectly clean,
How do you know that?
as far as you can tell, but apparently it was...
Or even if it was visibly clean, you don't know
Yeah,
that,
no,
do you?
no. You're not eating out of the chamber.
They do look like very good. Good scones,
No.
currants and all.
Well, I'm just glad I didn't get those two confused in the night.
You look back up. Squintworth is gone.
Why a bath, though? Corzin will take this bath down to the common area and say, "I've done nothing with this. Just if you want a cup of coffee, have at it."
Yeah, it is a halfling-sized bath, so you are able to, and you're strong enough that you can certainly lift it.
Cracking.
Yeah.
I'll have a cup.
Just dip a cup in.
Yep. Squinty.
Yes, young master.
Oh fuck! Okay, I actually asked and I still wasn't ready. Could I have a cup of milk, please?
Of
Just
course.
one. Thank you.
He stares at you And then
Perfect eye contact.
perfect eye contact, and a hand reaches over your shoulder.
Oh, fuck.
You look round. He's there. He's not in front of you anymore, and he just places one on the table.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Call if you have any further requests, young master.
Will do.
You look away for a moment. He's gone again.
I don't think I'm ever going to get used to that.
It seems that this morning Squintworth's butlering is working on Slenderman rules.
As someone who's actually had a heart attack before, this is like alarmingly close as an experience, if I'm honest. Anyway, I've got to go talk to Scamp, darling.
Yes, all right.
Yeah,
Do you want me to come in and check on you after a certain amount of time?
No. I'll see you in a bit.
As Celestia gets up and goes to find
Takes the milk and the
Scamp, Victory walks in. Oh, I feel like I could drink a bathtub of coffee.
Well, you're in luck.
Well, funny you should mention that.
Bye.
And we cut to Scamp.
It's like a self-conscious knock at your door. You awake?
Yeah.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Okay, I awkwardly, like, you know how when you've got 2 drinks, you open the door with your butt?
Yeah.
I do that. Awkwardly, like, butt my way into the room. I brought drinks.
Would you like some toad in the hole?
What the fuck happened here?
I have very little explanation.
Right. I mean, if I'm honest, Toad in the Hole wasn't first on my list this morning, but I guess we'd all better fucking have some, hadn't we?
Yeah.
Since, like, long silence.
Yeah.
I don't know which thing to say first, so I think I'm just going to say all 3.
Okay.
Does that work for you, or would you like them one at a time?
Well, now, are you going to say all 3 simultaneously? Like,
I mean, I technically could if I did Minor Illusion, but that feels
Yeah,
really hard.
that's-
So I'm just
I
going to say
don't- yeah,
them
I
quickly,
think I'd
one
struggle
after
to-
another, because
Yes.
So, I mean, the first thing I wanted to say is we probably need a chat, don't we, to be honest? I just get that vibe that we're not great. The second thing I wanted to say is I'm sorry. I am
did
sorry,
say that one already, but yeah.
but also we need to talk about that, I think. And are you all right?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to just say yes, because I don't know if that's true, and that doesn't seem fair.
You don't have to know. I don't know is a perfectly okay answer.
I think that might be where it's at.
I'm still holding this cup of milk rather than having given it to you, so here you go.
Right, okay.
Sorry.
Take a seat somewhere not in a there's not much that isn't toad
Yeah,
in the
I am.
hole right now.
I am just standing here, and I think that's making it weirder.
There's a lot of toad. Do you want to go to the room next door that isn't full of toad in the hole?
I feel like a serious conversation would be easier to have in a room that's not full of fucking sausages. If I'm honest,
Let's move Jeffrey
I do
with the
feel
sausages.
like it's somewhat
Jeffrey
throwing the
is
vibe.
Already stuffing his face.
Yeah,
in fact,
like this is already after Jeffrey's eaten a lot. So.
Stormy's making her way through some sausage.
Oh, darling,
Oh, yeah.
carry on, please. I mean, I'm not much of a stress eater, to be honest, so this is just sort of off-putting.
Oh, I am, but not like this.
Yeah.
You step into a small adjoining parlour with a nice little pair of chairs, table, lots of beautifully moth-themed like plates on the walls, that sort of thing.
But not an unexpected amount of weird food.
No.
Okay, we can cope
No
with
bathtubs
this.
of weird things, like...
This
no.
we can manage.
No, this appears to be...
Not a chamber pot of biscuits and scum.
No, this is just a parlour. There are some crossbows on the walls and a musket.
Okay.
But, like, yeah.
You're angry with me.
Yeah. Which is weird, because it's not... I get angry, but not much, and I'm not very good at expressing it, because it usually just gets a bit... magic everywhere, and I'm trying not to do that so much.
Well, it's just us.
Yeah,
You could just be angry with me.
I am. So, yeah.
Would it help to talk about why? I mean, I think we kind of know, but would it help to say it? Like, what?
Yeah.
What would help?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, it just feels like there's a lot of at stake at the moment. Like a huge amount at stake. I don't know, just... Like, sometimes it's okay to be selfish. Like, sometimes it's important. But not when the stakes are these.
I notice you aren't angry with victory.
No, and that is a little bit worrying in itself.
Yeah, why is that exactly?
Okay, say you'd stayed behind and asked your question, and it had fallen all in on you and it got crushed. Well, let's start the other way around. Say Victory had gotten trapped. I'd have tried to help, but I wouldn't have died trying, because the stakes are too high. The world kind of needs us to get back. But if it had been you in there, I think we'd all have died. I wouldn't have left.
It's different to what I was expecting.
Maybe.
No, I mean in terms of why you're not angry with her.
I care about her, I do, and she's my sister, and that's weird, but it's important, and I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm also, I don't know, I guess a little bit worried about the future of both of us, and I don't know, it's a complicated thing, whereas with you, it's you. I don't want to be in a position where I don't throw my life away to try and save yours.
You don't do the same.
Exactly. And that means, there's too much that we have impact on at the moment. We know too much to just throw our lives away.
You're right.
And what about, little Corzin and Molly on a smaller scale?
It's funny, I had this exact conversation with Corzin almost a while back.
Because you know that Corzin would have gone back for you. That both of us would have gotten ourselves killed trying to pull you out of rubble.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know, I just have to... It hurt that you put Adrian before both of us.
That's not how it felt, but I get it.
That's what it was. And before the world as well, which, that happens. People are selfish when it's personal, and that's what it is, but I just hurt that it was above us, which is, maybe petty and selfish myself, but it was.
Again, that's not how it was meant, but I think that's fair.
I know it wasn't meant that way, but that was still the result. The intention of the action doesn't necessarily reflect the result. Sometimes you just want to calm down a crowd and you start a revolution, so, we know that intent and result don't always have the same thing.
I thought you were angry with me. Because you thought my questions were less important than victories. Which is stupid now that I see it.
I don't even know what victories were.
That was the point, though. The fact that you were angry with me and not her.
Oh,
has
yeah,
been
no,
very
I can
weird
see
to
how.
deal with.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, your anger makes a lot more sense actually than I thought it would. Because I thought. Okay, here's what I thought. I thought you were pissed off because it was my family. And they're assholes. And I wanted to know things. I thought you were pissed off that I even needed answers from them.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, no, I can see why you think. No, you. That's important.
And I was all ready to explain why. Like, I came here with. I was going to talk to you about how. You know, you get a sister, so why can't I try for a brother? And, and you know, maybe having a shot at someone who was fucking there for all of it, so that I don't just feel like I went through all the shit I went through as a kid in a fucking void with no one there who would say the same thing about it as me. And how I could maybe feel less crazy if he was there too, and how maybe he isn't. He is the worst, but maybe he isn't entirely, and maybe it's worth trying. I was ready to come here with all these excuses.
No, that...
And...
Like, maybe he is the worst, but he doesn't have to be forever, and that's important.
And, you know, maybe if he's forgivable, I am. I don't know. There's a lot behind it.
No, it wasn't... It wasn't about the content of the question.
That makes a lot more sense.
It was about the fact that you asked one at all. Because that time, that few seconds could have been what got us trapped here forever. Yeah?
I think you should have done.
What, asked a question?
Yes. You have so much that you don't know about yourself. You must have hundreds, and we had a few seconds in which you could actually have the truth from someone.
Except did we? Because, like, Victory died. That Victory fell. That it was falling apart when we left. We nearly lost her. Did we have a few more seconds? I don't know. And if I had taken that time and any of us had got hurt, I can't carry that.
I think you're scared of answers.
Oh, terrified. Oh, no, I know I am. I don't... But there were...
I don't know how you could look at that and not take a chance. And I am sorry that I did it. I genuinely am. Properly, actually sorry, because I agree. I have two things that completely oppose each other. I agree with what you're saying completely.
Yeah.
It was selfish and stupid, and it could have gotten us all killed, and I should have thought better. But I wouldn't take it back. I couldn't.
I know.
Because
I know that.
There's no other situation in which I would have got those truths, and they might seem like nothing to other people.
That's...
But...
If the other people think that's nothing, they can fuck right off. Because they're not. That was a...
But when it comes down to it, I think you deserve that.
Yeah,
I think we figure things out.
If that was in front of me there now, without that time pressure, without the fear of everything falling down around us, I would ask the questions. I am terrified. You're right. I'm absolutely terrified of what the answers are, but I do need to know, because not knowing is so much worse, but worse than that would be living with trapping us here or getting us killed or any of that. Because I had the same question as you. Not about Adrian, that would be weird.
That would be very weird.
That would be very weird. I had that same question.
Who about? If you want to answer, you don't have to.
It's not quite the same, but it's along the same lines. But about me and about victory. Because how many sorcerers don't turn evil? Really?
You haven't.
I'm like 15. I've got so much time.
Well, I don't think you will.
But I don't know. Because I don't know how those other people... Do you think they were all born evil or monsters or... I don't think that's likely. So
I also think if you don't want to enough, you don't.
But what if they didn't want to?
You're an unusual person when presented with this much power. Seriously. Most people who can... If you gave the ability to move Earth and, you know, change up and down to a lot of people, they'd go pretty insane. Make themselves king or something. But you're not, and you're actively trying not to.
Yeah, but where does that lead? At what point do I just stop resisting doing things for myself rather
Never,
than...
because you're you.
I'm glad you've got that much faith in me.
Darling, you've dragged up my moral compass since I knew you. Like, I'm fully serious. I know you're laughing, but you are actually such a good person that it bleeds into other people around you. I didn't care about Clara when I first met her. I don't like saying that out loud now. It makes me feel sick, but that's the truth. I didn't care about this little girl who we'd found. I just cared about Leah and getting to her, and I was ready to leave her in the woods and run off. I only helped search because we had a few hours in which we couldn't look for Leah anyway.
Yeah.
Hanging around with you and Corzin, but hanging around with you has literally made me a better person.
I'm glad.
I don't think many people like that exist.
But it just does show how much people can change. And that doesn't necessarily mean in a good way. So, you know, I'm scared.
It's okay to be scared, but
I just...
don't assume that you'll get like that. You know? Also, fuck me, I know what power-mad evil people look like. If you start looking like that, I'll fucking tell you.
I know, I do trust you to do that.
I mean, I've literally sort of been one. Not exactly Quilena, but like not as far off as I'd like. And if you get there, you have people to check you.
Yeah. I just wish we knew more, and that feels like we've lost that chance. In fact, we have, but it wasn't worth the risk to me. The giants, that was a giant place, and giants knew more about sorcerers than anyone. That's gone now.
I think that's part of the reason that we're struggling with this as friends. Because I think it was worth the risk. I think it would have been worth the risk for you to ask those questions that you could never get the answers from anywhere else. I think we just don't agree here. But I completely see what you're saying.
Yeah.
As well, and I I agree with you, and I don't agree at the same time. But I don't want to lie to you and just say I'm completely on the same page, because I'm not.
No, I know, and that's That's fine. It's just hard when
It is.
something like fundamentally isn't. Because we agree on so many things. All three of us about what's important, what matters, when. And this one's just one we don't.
Maybe it is a selfish streak in me, I don't know. But I think you deserved answers as much as the rest of us.
I get nightmares sometimes. Where you and Corzin are chasing down a sorcerer who's gone, like, bad. And sometimes it's victory, sometimes it's me. And I think they're just nightmares, I think that's all it is. But I get them quite a lot these days.
Do you want help with that?
No, I kind of feel like maybe I need them.
That sounds self-destructive and awful.
It
does. It sounds bad, darling.
I know, but I worry that if I ever stop fearing that happening, that's one step closer to it happening.
Well, you can keep an eye on yourself and still get some fucking sleep. Nightmares suck.
Yeah, they do. But it's also reassuring in a way. Because I know that if I did go like that, you would stop me.
Yeah. Yeah, we would.
Thank you.
I don't want to. And I
I
don't
don't
think
want-
it will get there. But if that helps to hear, I genuinely do not think it will get there. But if it does, we are here. And we will fix it.
Good. That does help.
I have so many questions I could have asked that fucking mirror about that as well, now I think about it. Hundreds more. Will you come back from the dead?
Oh, that was like at the top of my list of things to say. Other than that, like, I couldn't stop thinking about it last night. There was like 5 or 6 things that I would have asked, and I think maybe one of them we could find elsewhere.
Shit.
Yeah,
Nah.
yeah. But you only think of the things afterwards, really, don't you? But I still wouldn't change the decision.
Nor would I.
And I think
Which-
that's okay.
It feels bad because it feels like it makes my sorry meaningless. But I do mean it.
I know, and
It's just complicated.
it's just two people with different opinions on a situation. And I'm sorry that we have different opinions on that. But
Happens, I suppose.
that doesn't make it. It doesn't change anything between us, really. Not really. I'm angry, and I will be angry for a bit.
That's okay. There's no rush on that. There's not a time limit.
Yeah.
But if you need to talk about it anymore, you know,
Yeah.
we can
Yeah.
always find time.
I hope
If
we
I'm
can
really
get our
honest,
drink
This is really bad, but I'm slightly mad with you.
back. You should be. We've got a different. Like, you think I should have done something different. I think you should have done something different.
I just
Well,
think when
not-
you have the one chance to find some really important stuff that you can't find anywhere else, you should do it.
Not if the consequences are too high. And it was just a risk I couldn't take. I wouldn't. I can't.
I understand. You know what, though?
But
I do think, you know, if we ever get out of this fucking void, which we will, we're us.
we're better. Otherwise, this whole thing was pointless. Because I could have had all sorts of answers.
I mean, Squinty's going to run out of toad in the hole eventually, so we better...
I don't believe that.
We'd better get out of the fucking void, really, hadn't we?
Did Corzin get his bath?
Was that you? That's where this coffee's from. It's amazing. I don't know how he made such a large amount of good coffee. But when we get out of the void, I think it might be time to find your dad's boat, darling.
Oh, yeah.
You need answers. And to be perfectly honest, we need answers.
Yeah.
Because it's getting unsafe for us not to have them.
Yeah, I know.
And I think with some information, you might have a fair amount less nightmares.
Maybe even if worse.
Even if it's really scary information, facts are better.
Yeah.
You know, we need to understand at this point. Because you're right, your power is getting very big.
And so is Victory's.
And so is Victory's, both of you. And without knowing what the fuck is going on with the pair of you, it's just...
It's dangerous.
It could get really unsafe. And I wouldn't normally push like this for something relating to a parent, because fuck me, I know what a delicate area that is. I wouldn't normally push you towards it at any speed. I'd normally let you take the lead, but there are other factors at play here.
Well, let's face it, it's not a parent, it's a biological link.
It's a donor, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's someone who fucked somebody else once and then you happened. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel I need to reiterate, because it's been a few episodes since we stated this. While you're within the void, Celestia and Corzin are both able to see Flintlocks and CD, all as various recolored versions of Scamp in a sort of spiritual form, lounging around different parts of the room. And as at your comment, Celestia, Locks looks over and just raises an eyebrow.
I'm sorry, what the fuck are you looking at? You weren't invited.
I'm so annoyed I don't get to see them.
There's not really exactly anywhere else I can be.
Not my fucking problem, is it?
Do you want to see this terrible spell I found?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, it's horrifying. This is going to sound awful, but I don't think we should tell Victory, because I don't think that her mum should know about it.
Okay.
Look at this terrible spell I found.
What is it? I can't remember, mate.
Magic jar. It basically has a similar effect to when Celestia was not Celestia, potentially.
Yeah, you've got to explain this because
when
it's
Celestia was not Celestia, I'm sorry, that's happened in so many ways that I actually need more specificity.
The magic jar. Find magic jar.
I can't remember what the spell does.
In which case, I will say,
listeners,
then,
please don't shout at us. It's been a couple of weeks since we played, and I know that we did this, but I can't remember.
Scamp leads you through the explains the basic fundamentals of the spells.
Okay, I have the spell. I shall read it.
The short form of which is using the scroll as the material component for this. It lets you position your. The translation is a little weird. Could read it as consciousness, mind, or soul.
Puts it in a jar
into the scroll, and then use that to shift someone else's consciousness within range out of their body, shunt it into the scroll, where it will remain a prisoner until you are done with their body. Provided when you are done with their body, you can move back into the scroll, provided the scroll is close enough. You do this automatically if the host body dies, and the scroll is close enough. The body's soul / consciousness / mind is then put back into the host body, which, if the host body's dead, means it basically goes nowhere and dies. So yeah, this is fundamentally a body snatching spell. It lasts until I believe the spell ends when you willingly return to your own body.
God. That's awful.
All the scrolls destroyed.
All the scroll is
I
destroyed.
think.
It is worth noting that there is no time limit, and if one was, say, dying and wanted to become a permanent body snatcher and extend one's life for eternity in this manner, this is how one might do so.
It's mortifying that this exists, darling. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I agree with you that we shouldn't show victory because I don't want Vasilisa to know it's a thing either.
No. We should tell Corzin when it's at a point where there's not other people around.
Maybe when we're out of the void.
Yeah. Or just maybe next time we rest if I can catch him alone. But
Yeah,
I didn't identify any of the rest of this stuff because I did this and I needed to lie down.
That's fair.
The identify spell, kind of basically as it usually does, gave you a fleeting series of visions which gave you a full sense of how it is meant to be used and how it is used. There is some writing in Gigantic on it, so unless you show it to Corzin, who can read Gigantic or cast Comprehend Languages, you will not be able to. You do not know what the writing says.
Okay, I'll get Corzin to have a look at that at some point. But also, I've got this potion and this things I picked up. I guess we'll figure those out later, because...
I mean, up to you, darling. We can always do it over breakfast. So I just thought about how much toad in the hole is in the next room. Our lives are so weird sometimes that I just feel a bit sick.
A knock at the door.
Hello, yes?
Your Spectre woman. Hey, do you mind if I open the door?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Door creaks open. Victory peers in. You can see she has a chintzy-looking porcelain plate stacked with scones and a couple of...
Some toad in the hole in the next room.
Is that a
Yeah, I saw.
chamber pot? Or a plate?
Where did you get that from?
She is using a plate. Scamp, you have not seen the chamber pot.
Okay, this looks a bit like it because of the description you gave there.
But no. This is a plate that Victory has.
Okay,
Victory has.
definitely a plate.
Yeah, Corzin had a bunch of scones.
Right.
Oh.
I enjoy those.
Yeah, they're quite tasty.
Yeah. Could you give us another minute, darling?
Sure, I'll
There's
see
some
you
toad
downstairs.
in the hole in the next room.
Yeah,
if you want
I
to.
noticed a lot of it.
like so much. Please have some fucking hell.
There's a
Please,
lot less of it
please
now.
eat it.
Good.
Yeah,
There's
please eat some.
There's a lot
before
of pastry
Jeffrey's-
everywhere. I think your cat's been eating all of the sausages.
Yeah. Unless you as DM had something that you wanted Victory to say.
No, there's more just like a gentle
Oh, we're nearly done.
Yeah. Victory. Gives you a nod and moves off.
Yeah, I just feel like before we move on with the day, I know you're still angry and that's fine, but are we okay?
Yeah, you're allowed to have a different opinion, and I'm angry you put us at risk for it. And I'm angry that you put someone else over us, which is selfish in itself. But
Again, that's not how I meant it, but I get that that's
I
what
know.
happened.
But it's all right.
Thanks
We'll
for
be all right.
understanding why it was important.
Oh yeah, no, very much do. It's still hard,
Yeah, I feel a bit stupid that it was important, but
No, don't. No, that was it. No, don't feel stupid.
well, I know we haven't really got a resolution here, but I love you.
I love you. We'll just be angry for a bit until the anger isn't as hot, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, and again, you're right, but I wouldn't change it, and I'm
know.
sorry. I am.
There's a huge part of me that just wants to go, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. And that's not true, I am angry.
No, you are angry.
Yeah. That's
Well,
okay.
I love
Anger's
you.
important. Love you.
And
No,
yeah, if you want to chat again and be angry for a bit, do, or if just being angry is enough, that's fine too.
I think it probably is, to be honest.
Yeah, it's okay for you to be angry, and I agree with why you are.
You're
All
allowed
of
to
the
be
stuff
angry
that
at
we
me
already
too.
said. Right. Should we go have some fucking toad in the hole? Because I guess we better have.
Yeah, let's go stop Jeffrey eating it before he actually explodes. We have to clean bits of Jeffrey off everything.
I'm not using fucking spells for that, I'll be honest.
And you know what? I'm going to rewind by about 20 minutes. to when Celestia leaves the room, and Victory takes a seat, dips a cup into the coffee bath.
Goes for a scoop.
Sip. Yeah, this is actually pretty decent coffee.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I
are
don't
those
know why
scones?
there was so much of it.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, help yourself.
Oh, thank you. Grabs a plate off the wall, start loads a few on. Oh, decent scone. So, that was a day, wasn't it?
Yep, it certainly was. I'm probably going to need a fair amount of time to just sort of digest everything, if you'll pardon the term. But there were so many things that I didn't know, but I was fairly certain about, and some of what I learnt there has thrown everything else into question.
Yeah, I know how you feel.
I'm obviously not going to ask necessarily what you wanted to know unless you're happy to share it, but I hope whatever answer you got, it was at least helpful to you.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to talk about it, but
And I'm not
it
asking you to.
It was a good answer. Something I've worried about for a long time, and it's lifted something off my shoulders.
That's good. I think whatever else the answers we got were, the one thing I hope we all have in common is that the answers we got were helpful in some way.
Yeah. I've been wondering for a long time about whether I should do a thing.
Yeah?
And I always worried that that thing wasn't really my choice. I'd been... You get raised with an idea, and you believe it, and you agree with it, and you always wonder, though, is it mine? Is it just how I was raised? And I realised it is mine. I do believe it, and it is still the right thing. And even if I don't manage it, that's okay. Sometimes there's important things that need doing. And being in a position to do that, I always thought of it as like a task, you know?
Yeah.
Something I'd have to do someday.
Yeah.
And I've realised I'm lucky. I'm so lucky to be able to. Because I realised how many don't get that chance.
It's very true.
We get so little time to change the world.
I think you're right at that. Also, well done. I've met people twice your age who haven't figured that out.
I guess I've led an exciting sort of life. You know?
You'll get no argument from me, but...
Yeah.
Also, twice our age is still under 30.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Still just about. I think. Yeah. No. I think she's like. Yeah. She is 13.
Yep.
Thereabouts. Yep. That's still like crazy young.
Oh yeah. Yep. And Corzin isn't making light of this.
Yeah.
Oh no, it just makes that phrase so different. I love it.
I know. 3 out of 5, though.
Yes.
We're getting closer. Between you and me, I was worrying. But
That's
We've got a
perfectly
way-
natural.
we've got a way to go up now, and
I think this is something we all appreciate to a certain extent in our own unique ways, but there's a lot of planning that is improvisation, if you see what I mean.
yeah. And you just do this all the time. Like, things like this, because, I grew up on a pirate ship. I thought I led a pretty adventurous life.
Oh, and you do. Like, don't ever think that just because there's people who are living a very different life to that, it isn't. It's just obviously some of our short and long-term personal goals mean that we end up running into this sort of stuff a lot more frequently than maybe other people do.
Yeah, you can say that again. Whew.
It feels like sort of almost frivolous to boil it down to that one sentence, but it is more or less the case.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I can see. I'm sorry for, causing us to fall through a crack in the world, but
You didn't intend to do that.
equally, I'm just thinking of what we've learned. Even those scant few things. I mean, we've seen the world. We've literally seen what the world looks like.
Yeah, that's amazing. There's
There's a lot more of Fanon than I thought there was.
Yeah, that's going to keep cartographers and explorers busy for decades, if not centuries.
I stayed up last night and I made the best sketches I could. I assume you did the same.
Oh yes,
Yes, we did. We all did that. Every single one of us.
Oh no,
I only believe that Corzin remembered to do that.
Celestia drank whiskey and went to bed. Yeah.
Scamp stared at the ceiling for a long time.
I tried to freeze every aspect of that into my mind because
Yeah, actually, speaking of which, Corzin, make a retroactive intelligence plus proficiency check.
intelligence plus proficiency.
Because Sailor.
We
And
suck.
let's see how well you did at recalling it.
Genuine question actually about this. Would my proficiency with navigator's tools make any difference here?
Yes, but this is a memory check, which is why
Right.
it's intelligence based.
Okay, so
So
intelligence
that's what's
plus
giving you the proficiency bonus.
Okay, 19.
19. Okay. The map you drew is frankly a lot more detailed than Victory's, who got the broad shape of Fanon in a broad sense, but you've actually got a reasonable approximation of coastline, you think, and you remembered where the mountain ranges were,
Yeah.
and at least 2 rivers. So you've got it's not bad, frankly. It's something you could hand to explorers to have a decent chance. And more importantly, you also remembered the rough layout of the archipelago within the Eversquall.
Yeah.
So you have
that's
a
most important.
very rough map of that archipelago as well.
Well, look, we can compare these if you want, but I know as soon as we get back to where we started, I'm going to make a bunch of copies of these and put them in safety deposit boxes somewhere no one can get at them. Because this is literally invaluable. If you're
Put them
trying
in the
to...
bank, mate. I'm sorry, carry on.
That was a poor choice of words on Sam's part, not Corzin's. Sorry. But yeah, this is invaluable in terms of navigation and exploration for anybody. I don't like the idea that there's literally only one version of this available anywhere anymore.
Right. Thanks, Corzin. Good chat. Oh, shall I guess I'll take some scones up to the others and see if see how they're doing.
I would say they're probably famished, but if this, and he gestures to the bathtub of coffee, if this is what I woke up next to this morning, I dread to think what they did.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they got something savoury.
That'd be something.
Yeah.
Give him time, though.
Sure. Victory has another cup of coffee, eats a bit of a scone, waits 5-10 minutes, then goes up, and 5 minutes after that, the pair of you come down.
Yeah, we come down. Yeah, it's as long as the rest of our chat was.
It is now around 9:30, or according to your roughly according to your candle clocks on the 27th of Falling Leaves.
So what's next then, folks?
We need to get this cure to.
Yeah, we figured out
That's probably
To the broker.
Yeah, we figured out everything, or what everything does that we picked up yet.
Nope.
I think we did all of the stuff downstairs.
Yeah, but we could do that later. It's not urgent.
Fair enough, just as long as we remember to do it, because we'd kick ourselves later if we had something the whole time that would be helpful, right?
That's a really good point.
The next
you put it like that.
Maybe. I was about to say the next time we're planning on having a fight, we should have done it by then. But you don't really plan on fights.
No,
not
I
very
know that there are some fights in my future that I plan to have, but they're not like a fixed amount of time away from now.
But my point is, maybe we should identify everything now, just in case there's something fucking life-saving.
You're
And
right.
we all die because we didn't bother identifying it before we left the fucking
Okay.
house. You know what I'm saying?
I've got this potion. I've got this other some sort of medicine thing. There's a book and there's some sort of other curio that I'm not going to describe.
A curio.
All right, so running
Lots of
through
curios in
these,
there.
with Victory assisting you, you're able to get this all done in 20 minutes. So, potion-wise, can I ask you to roll me a d20, please?
5. It says level 2 potion. I've got written here.
Oh, you've got level 2 potion. That makes life
Sorry, I
easier.
didn't say that in character because it felt like an odd thing to say.
No, thank you.
Yes.
It's been a few
Weirder
weeks.
even than curio.
It's thank you. It's been a couple of days.
Sorry.
In which case, can I ask you for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 D8, please?
D8. Yes. 3.
Ooh, okay. So you find. Okay, so this potion is a curious sort of. It's a faintly orange tinted oil that is filled with small metallic flakes, silvery metallic flakes. It is as you cast the spell, you get flickers of a sense of how it is intended to be used. It appears to be alchemical in nature. It can be thrown up to 60 feet onto a... and if it connects... Well, it works best... It can be thrown up to 60 feet, at which point it will break, and on exposure to air will discharge quite a lot of heat. It tends to stick to objects as well. It is sticky in nature, and in particular will last up to. It will take about a minute to cool off. This is basically a potion of heat metal. So it can be thrown upon a creature or metal object within 60 feet. It will work as the spell Heat Metal does, doing 2d8 fire damage per round. it is worth noting that if it doesn't hit something metal, it will do the damage, but only exactly where it strikes, rather than conducting through. So it will basically, whatever it touches will char rather than necessarily catching fire. Okay, so that's the potion. You have the curio as well. If I can ask you to roll me a quick D100, please.
Yes. 11.
Oh, 11. Okay. Right. This is a very nice looking polished box of silvery wood. It is currently closed with a latch. First question is, do you open it?
Yes.
Okay. Flipping the latch, you open it, and there is a small puff of dust that escapes. You can see there is a hand inside, what appears to be a severed hand that has been desiccated and preserved. Each of the fingers of the hand has a blackened, long tarnished silver ring on it. That's just what you get from looking at it. If you particularly want, you can try and identify it.
Yeah,
as well.
I need to know if this hand is going to kill me in my sleep.
It looks like it might.
It looks like it might. This is going to, I don't. Let's find out if this does anything.
Okay. The flickering of visions you get from handling the hand.
He's doing a face. Face.
Oh no.
Face hand.
Yeah.
Hand face.
Does indeed suggest that it will kill you. It does for a moment suggest that it will kill you in your sleep.
Oh, good.
Or rather, that it could kill you in your sleep.
Oh, good.
Have you given us the hand of Vecna?
Or someone else in your sleep, in their sleep, if you were so inclined. This hand, on the contrary, this hand has the ability. I think it's getting a little weird.
This is where it gets weird.
Of course, yeah.
I found a dusty hand in a box, but this is where it gets weird. Boy.
The hand can, if you. So you will. You discover, you get a flickering sense of visions of how it's used. You get a moment of seeing how some sort of spirit was bound. Okay, so you get a flickering of some time past when this hand appeared to belong to a hobgoblin, who, as far as you can tell, was some sort of smith or artisan who worked with. Again, details are not clear, but some sort of giant, some manner of giant forge master. There is a brief image or flash of this same hand, alive and well, stabbing someone in the back. The same forge master, with, judging from the sudden reaction of the collapsing giant, presumably a poisoned blade. You get images briefly of a trial, and and 5 rings being forcibly placed on the hand of the hobgoblin in question, and some sort of spirit being bound into them. Images of them becoming cold and withered and drained. of being sent to fight time and time again on brutal battlefields, of receiving arrows through the heart and clambering back up to fight again. An image of another trial, and after some and a sense of pronouncement of a time of service being at its end, and a ceremonial severing of the hand with the 5 rings, and the hobgoblin, a look by this point twisted and ghoul-like, giving a moment, having a brief look of relief as the rest of them turns to dust.
Wow.
The hand remains, is bound in the box. You get a sense that you then get a sense of how to use the hand by twisting the 5 rings all around 180 degrees. You can bind the hand to you, and as here we go. As an action, you can fling the hand at a creature. It will sail through the air and grab hold of them.
Wow.
With a chilling touch of vengeance, clinging to them, though for a good 6 seconds or so, and you can, as an action, force it to do so again. So basically, it does not take an attunement slot, but you may bind this hand to you and gain the power to cast Chill Touch, doing 3d8 necrotic damage.
Wow. 3d8.
Yeah.
But I have to throw a hand at people.
But you have to
Useless
throw,
hands.
you have to throw the hand at someone within 120 feet. It will fly through the air, grab hold of them, deal 3d8 necrotic damage on a hit, using a ranged spell attack modifier, and cling to them for a round, preventing them from regaining hit points.
Okay. Do I have to go and fetch it to get it back, or does it just come back?
You can command it to return to you, or to fly to someone else within 120 feet. Once it's bound to you, it remains bound to you until you are killed, or until you rotate the rings back 180 degrees. It can really only be used to grab things. It's not good at grabbing things and bringing them back. So it doesn't work like a mage hand.
No, it's just Chill Touch, basically.
Yeah, but it will. Yeah, you can fling it at something and it will grab it. So, like, if you wanted to knock something over 120 feet away, it could probably do that. But it's not going to grab something and bring it back to you.
And I can't, I'm guessing, use distance spell to make it longer. That's not going to be affected by.
No, this is basically a magic item, fundamentally.
It's horrible. I love it.
It's the worst.
It's absolutely awful.
Oh, darling. I've got a present for you. You'll love it, I promise you.
Is it better than a disembodied hand?
I mean, nothing could be better than a disembodied, mortifying hand that grabs people with a death touch, would it?
I kind of like Jeffrey. You can't have it. I don't even know what your spell. What would Jeffrey's spell modifier be?
Oh,
Let's
God.
not even. What stat does Jeffrey use for
For the sake of sanity, I would say that in the event Jeffrey did have access to this, Jeffrey would attack with a +4.
Lovely. Gross.
Interesting.
I hate it. No, it's a little potion that it makes an animal do a message for you, and I just thought maybe you should be able to make a random stoat say bums to someone at some stage in your life. So here you go. You'll enjoy it far more than I will.
It's a tiny little sort of like perfume sampler-sized ampule. You could probably dose an item of pet food with it and give it to, or bird seed or something, and give it to an animal.
Amazing.
So do they have to drink it or consume it?
Consume it in some way.
Yeah.
What was the last item?
I've got a book.
Yeah, okay. So roll another D100. This doesn't require identification.
That's 32.
Is it more porn?
No. This appears
I don't
to
want it
be.
anyway.
This appears to be a treatise on mechanics.
Oh, hooray!
Yeah, it's basically the equivalent of finding Aristotle's notes on how to produce things like the screw pump.
Alright,
Right,
so
it's
not
quite-
immediately useful, but I bet that to the right person that would be priceless.
Yeah, it's a very valuable collector's item.
I mean, Benny might love it.
Yes,
That's true.
Benny would love this.
Yeah,
I'm going to give it
Corzin,
to
can
Benny.
you translate this for us?
Should be able to.
I will
Yeah,
say
just
that yeah,
over
this is
time.
you're getting a sense of this is of what that is, and not taking 10 minutes is basically Corzin looking at the writing and getting
Yeah.
a rough reading oh yeah, this is what the title basically describes.
Does it have illustrations?
It does have. Pardon me, it does indeed have illustrations.
Excellent.
Yeah, there's actually quite a reasonable amount of engineering information in here as well. How to build an aqueduct, roads, fortress design, and the like. A lot of it is honestly superseded by modern engineering knowledge, but it's still very impressive for the time.
Yep. Okay. Good to know.
Cool.
There's also a very nice recipe for cement, which you haven't discovered, but at some point, if anyone who does read this through, will cause a small revolution in engineering.
Oh god, yeah.
Because there's concrete, and the recipe for concrete is included in this.
Wow.
I'm gonna give this to
Oh,
Benny.
that's going to be a
Benny
big
will
thing.
cause a whole load of mayhem with that.
Yep.
Right. Anything else before you carry on?
Those are my things.
Excellent.
So to the broker first, do we think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Let's get
We need
this.
to make sure we're not followed out of there.
Well, we did make a deal with him that he wouldn't, but we should still check you are right.
Oh, we made a deal that while we were doing the job, he wouldn't follow us. He's going to follow
no,
us.
we made a deal that he wouldn't have us followed back when we brought in the thing.
I'm pretty sure after the deal ended was. Well, we might be misremembering, but I thought afterwards it was all fair game.
No, I thought he wasn't allowed to follow when we left.
Yeah,
I thought that was just the first time we left on the quest.
No, I thought it was when we left at the end, after we gave him the thing.
If that wording was ambiguous, that wording is ambiguous.
No, that's fine.
I don't know that it was. I think it's our memory that's ambiguous.
The wording was.
You could just bamf.
The wording
Yeah,
was.
that's the thing.
The wording was when it was that. The wording was that when you left, that he would not have you followed when you left the mansion, so.
Fair.
However many times that was
It
not
also,
specified.
Like, ages ago.
Yeah, and therefore ambiguous. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe,
So
maybe
it's done him much
teleporting
good.
might be the best thing to do here then.
I think it is because I also think it'll be funny. The
little bit
temptation
funny.
to teleport in is also very strong.
So
but we shouldn't-
we
that's
haven't
showing our hand
wasted-
too much.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh.
is.
So we have 2 of these left, yes? The one with the broker and up.
Yeah.
There's not like another one that I've forgotten, is there?
No, we've got 3 out of 5.
Okay, I just had a moment where I was like, maybe there are more of them.
No, fair point. We were Victory and I were discussing this earlier.
Right. So to the broker and then up.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, we do that.
Cool. Right, onward.
All right.
Onwards.
Stormy, stay here, darling. I'll see you later.
Stormy rubs herself up against your leg.
Yes, I love you too. Goodbye.
You set back out along the path of twisted steel, and to cut a long story short, make your way through the void, the veils of the void, back to the steelworks, and up through the broken bazaar, retracing the path that you took before to reach the gate to paradise. Corzin, again, you see the distortions in the air that that mark the presence of invisible creatures.
Imps.
Yeah, you would guess based on the appearance.
I relay this to everybody else.
Yeah. However, you are recognised upon arriving at the door. The gateway opens, and you once again find yourself entering the sunlit gardens of paradise. A handful of shadowy demonic guards approach you, and you are met again by the same fundamentally sort of civil servant-esque looking chap. I believe it was, yes, Shihan, who gives you a slight bow. The tiefling smiles. I believe the broker is waiting for you in the same chamber as before. If
Excellent.
you would care to follow me.
Thank you, darling.
Lead on.
He leads you not through the orangery this time, but through the main doors, and again past the into the great hallway where the skeleton, where the wired-up skeleton of the gigantic queen remains sat in state. And again, past the numerous guards in their black armour, all the way to the side room, the administrator's sort of office, where once again, and this time you can see, Corzin, you can see there are a couple of invisible imps sat on little perches near the light sources of the room, a pair of little sconces with mage lights. The chamber, as before, has a richly panelled wooden desk. There are little there are windows, little grills in the ceiling to let the light and air through, and there are four of these armoured guards within, as well as little accoutrements. There's only one chair, which is being sat in, though there is this time a lovely looking, about 4 foot high, you know those sort of wooden globes which you keep alcohol in? Like one of those.
Yeah.
There. And sat behind the desk, once again, is the elderly human figure of the broker. Ah! So, I take it your little adventure was a success.
Yeah, some might call it that.
I think it's fair to say.
You were able to find you what you were looking for, then.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but we did.
Good, good. And the cure.
Mm-hmm.
If you would, he looks to the tiefling manservant, Jihan. If you would care to please inspect inspect it for veracity. The tiefling extends a hand.
I feel
If
like
you would
Corzin
please.
has it.
Yeah.
I feel like if somebody was going to look after it, we would have given
Yeah.
it.
Very quick question
Yeah.
about the imps. Very quick question. Do they look like they're aware I can see them?
That's a good question. Roll the deception check, please.
Okay. That's a 7.
They don't at first, but one of them tilts their head and twitches, and you get the definite sense from them as if they've just realised they just caught you looking with your main eyes, as it were.
Oh, right.
But one
Like the
of
two
them.
in the centre of my head.
Yeah, the
okay.
two in the centre of your head, yeah. And you see that one kind of like do a little wave and a signal to the other one and point at you. They know. But
Alright,
they've
fair
possibly just figured it out.
Okay. I figured it was worth establishing that.
The Jihan takes the little dose and produces a small wand, which he moves around it. You know, the wand appears to be of gigantic design based on the spiral and style of it. Studies it for a moment. This is indeed the cure which you seek, broker. He places it on the desk. The broker smiles. Oh, that is beautiful. The first part of their payment, if you would. Jian reaches into his pocket and produces 2 slender silvery scrolls of similar style to the gigantic, the metallic gigantic scrolls you've seen in the past, and a blank seeker compass, which he both of which he passes to Corzin because Corzin is nearest.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Of course, it's also our designated adult, so.
If there's something to look after, it goes to Corzin.
Yeah.
If they are giant, is there like this weird size disparity between?
There is a
objects
particular
that are being
size disparity.
handed?
Like it's like you've got one of those like old-fashioned, like the Elder Scrolls and the Elder Scroll games where they're like fucking 4 foot long. Like that's how it's like you're being passed a small staff, basically.
Aww.
Like there's you slot them in where you're into your like a back holster for
It's like those novelty giant checks.
Yeah. They were designed for, but yeah, there is a definite size disparity going on. The compasses at least do fit comfortably in the palm of your hand, even if they are a little large.
Okay.
So you now have 2 blank seeker compasses and 2 methods of enchanting the seeker compasses. They're pretty straight. The scrolls are simple enough to use. Picture clearly in your mind what you're trying to find when you use them. Speak the name out loud. That helps cement it, and touch the scroll to the blank compass. That will then set it.
Alright, seems straightforward enough.
The other part. I believe you were looking for your little totem. Pyramid-shaped, bone and gemstones about 4 foot high, yes?
That's
Yeah.
right.
One.
Jihan, if you would. He gestures to the little globe. In the 4 foot tall little wooden globe, in the drinking globe. Jihan steps over, taps it with the wand. It flickers for a moment, and the illusion collapses, revealing the bone, gemstone, and ash totem.
Was that there the
Nicely
last time we
done.
were in this room?
It was not. They've apparently
Okay.
moved it in specially.
Fair.
That is nice work.
I find it can be very helpful to behold the services of a capable illusionist.
Oh, no, I do a bit of that myself. It's a particularly good one. No inconsistencies or anything. Lovely.
Oh,
Think of it as professional appreciation.
they are
Very much, yes. I'm entirely sincere. It's very
they
good.
are a master of their work. He grins, looking at the dose of cure on his desk.
Who's it for?
Do you know, contrary to what a lot of lurid tales will tell you, vampires, by and large, are not actually willing to spread their curse. If they kill people, they eat people, but it is actually quite involved for them to turn someone into one of their kind. Something they usually only reserve for loves or family members or the like.
How do they do it?
Bit of a trade secret, that one. Suffice to say, they cannot be forced to do it. They can only do it willingly. But they don't, because from their perspective, it is, after all, creating more mouths to feed. Potentially more competition. But it is a curse. They were made with weaknesses. To be weapons that could be controlled or destroyed. If you're going to build the perfect soldier, you want to make sure you have some way to keep them in check. And yet, for all of the trade-offs, for everything you lose, you wouldn't understand being an elf. But we humans live very short lives. Thank you for the bargaining chip. You're free to go. I hope you find whatever else it is you're looking for.
Thank you. Lovely doing business with you. Good
Appreciate
luck with
it.
the bargaining and whatever.
I will go and retrieve the totem.
You pick up the totem,
Yeah.
passing over some of the
walk
tall
out
scrolls to
without
other
it.
people. Yeah.
Yes, we do help
Scamp,
the man carry
take hold of
things.
that for a
Yeah.
second. Right, here we go.
Yeah, I'll have this. Right.
Victory leans in, whispers, "Okay, are we doing this here, or are we?"
No, let's remember that nice
let's-
like house in the middle of nowhere we found.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go there.
Broker gives you a little wave as you leave.
Bye.
Bye.
Very well.
So,
Corzin, make sure we're not followed.
Yeah, Corzin is going to be actively looking in all
roll a
directions
perception
because he
check,
can.
please, with advantage. This is sight-based.
Okay. Alright, that is a dirty 20.
Okay. You do actually notice, several invisible imps start following you.
Can I...
I will message Stone through my hat so I don't actually have to speak it aloud. It's like, yeah, there's a bunch of imps.
Alright, let me do a little distraction something. I would like to send a major image of, like, the party going in another direction.
Oh,
Just to split them
mirroring
up,
off.
so that we don't
Okay.
have all of them following us.
all right. So
Doing the sort
I
of
think I
Loki
can only
thing where you
do one,
split yourself.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
like you're gonna have it so like you step left, and it seems like another version of you steps right.
yeah, basically.
Okay.
Just so that we have less.
Yeah.
I know that some of them will still
You
follow us,
step
but...
out. Well, first of all, you make your way out of paradise, very much being followed. Three of the imps fly out after you, and Corzin, you notice that there are at least two more imps on the other side, already waiting, who start crawling up and following. They're not being idiots about this. They are doing their best to hide from you, as well as being invisible, but you've got eyes literally on the back of your ass and like everywhere else. You know,
Oh, boy.
It's pretty hard to hide from your gaze. They're no slouches when it comes to concealment.
Corzin is going to have a weird relationship with privies now.
Oh yeah.
Celestia, don't you have a thing where you can get lots of people to do a thing briefly?
I'm
I
really sorry,
remember
but I don't
anything
see
like-
which one are you
There's
talking
like
about.
there's one where you can cast command on lots of people at once. Isn't
Yeah,
there?
it's
There
like
is.
throwing performance.
Yes, I need to look at which one that is.
That's like one of your.
Yeah, it's
glamour
one of
things.
my glamour bar things.
Your ability lets you cast command once every round for a minute,
Yes, I'm just trying to find out which one it is.
rather than a mask. Rather than
Okay,
saying
it's
a
not
Mantle
Majesty.
of
suggestion.
Majesty. So I get 1 minute of like ethereal alien beauty, and I can cast command as a bonus action with no spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's not what I'm thinking of.
So,
Nevertheless,
but I could do that.
as you step out,
There's one where you like perform for a minute and then you could do something.
Oh, that's
What's
enthralling
that one?
performance. So enthralling performance, it's up to 5 creatures. They're basically charmed by me, so they speak well of me and oppose those who don't. And they're like, it's effectively like charm person, but on
Yeah.
5 people.
So-
I don't have to sing for a minute.
that's you Pied Pipering, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
So could you just make them all go away for a minute or so?
I mean, like, maybe, again, I have to sing for a minute for enthralling performance before they get charmed.
Really confuse
Mantle of
them.
Majesty, I could do command on any that are left here. I also can't see them, though. Like
You have to
Corzin
be able to
can.
see them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I'd be like,
You need to perceive them.
it would be like throwing a command into the wind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
Your mind needs
Yeah.
to be able to fix on a
Yeah.
target.
yeah.
Okay. Let's
Which
just
I
kill them,
hadn't
let's
really
not kill them all.
considered, but like, yeah, it is a thing.
What I will say,
Maybe.
however, is that as you cast the major image, like the few little strums of your guitar, at a junction point, you do seem to split in two, with a copy of the party walking off in a completely different direction. The imps look at each other, quickly make some decisions, and split in half. So you lose half your pursuers off the bat.
What
From-
about just a bit of like magical darkness?
That's enough to let you get back into the main sort of bazaar. So I will say that you've gone down from 6 imps following you to 3.
Okay.
If you want to try and lose the remaining 3, up to you how you want to do that.
I mean, there is darkness, isn't it? Either of us can do that.
Yeah, we could just do that and just walk in and then it'll go away and then we won't
Be
be
nice,
there
wouldn't
anymore.
it?
That's true, yeah. Just block us from sight for long enough, we can...
Yeah. Oh, no problem. I've got to be able to see you. So that doesn't work.
Ah, shit, yes.
Um,
What can I do? I mean, I could drop a confusion, but that might get violent. Because
Well, is there a place
and
you
they
could...
also still
space
might
with a lot of
remember what
people.
they see.
Is there a place you could drop the darkness where there's, like, multiple ways out of it so they won't be able to tell which one we've taken?
I mean, darkness can be... It's a 15-foot radius sphere and it's a 60-foot range.
If
So
we
if
can
they're a
get
bit
them
back-
in it,
Yeah.
That's the point. Is there a place around here we can bottleneck them slightly?
This entire bazaar is a maze of twisting streets and alleyways.
Cool.
right?
Fundamentally, there is no concerted city planning going on.
If we get to a point where they can't see us, it'll take us like literally 6 seconds to get out of here.
Yeah.
So, Corzin, just let us know if we could try and lose them, like manually. Like, that's not the word I want, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
And if we get to
like
a point
with
where they can't
stealth.
see us, we'll just zap them.
Go.
We're good.
Yeah.
Okay, so would this be a case of I'm trying to keep an eye on the 3 imps while simultaneously looking for anything in the environment we can use in order to hide ourselves long enough to just zip away?
Yeah,
I mean,
and if
you're
it's
definitely
looking-
better at this than the pair of us.
Yeah,
I mean,
Inspiration,
absolutely
congrats.
Corzin would be doing this.
Yeah, inspiration is yours.
Oh, thank you.
Lovely.
Yes.
If we think we're in a
Lovely.
position where they probably can't see, just maybe we drop the darkness behind us and then
Yeah.
do it as well.
Okay, Corzin is going to
Put a
look for
hood
an
up.
appropriate place to try and give them the slip.
Okay, give me a survival check, please.
Nice. Okay. Okay, going to use the inspiration as well.
I can't remember if it's a 10 or 12 at the moment.
All right, so that is going to be
It's a D10.
a D10.
Or is it
I thought it was
12?
D12.
I thought it was
D12 for
lovely.
inspiration.
Yeah, it's a D12 now. Sorry, it went
Right,
up
sorry. So
recently.
that's sorry, maths thought.
Fair.
25.
25. Okay, you beckoning the party after you, you quickly dive into the morass of streets, ducking under, literally through behind stalls, under awnings, around around different positions. It's a brief moment where you wonder why some of these stalls even have awnings until you see a winged creature fluttering over over from one part of the bazaar to another with like a basket full of small fish, and a couple of them fall out and bounce off the awnings.
Oh. It's raining fish.
Nevertheless, you do find what you actually manage to lose two of the imps just in the morass of streets before you even get to the point where you think you're perfectly positioned for the darkness. So one is still following you. This moment, you which of you is casting?
I guess if Scamp's teleporting, I'll do darkness.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes sense, because I've just got one of those a day because drow stuff, so I'll do that.
Everybody get it.
As ever, it's not really like Celestia's magic, because it's a drow thing. It's like just, I don't know, like...
Yeah, Corzin is the only
throwing
one
a
who
splodge
can't
of ink
cast this.
into water is what I picture it like.
Okay, in which case then you spread out your arms and just a flourishing of black ink-like darkness
Yeah, I'd
spills
like
around
it
you.
away from us and onto where Corzin has pointed out this imp is,
Okay.
because we need to be able to see each other.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It flares up between you.
Do you want the darkness spell card with that?
I don't need it. I know how this works. I'm just looking for I'm just checking whether Corzin can see through magical darkness. He cannot. Thank you. So yeah, you are the image of. So the imp vanishes from your sight, Corzin, and from the others as you grab as Scamp grabs the. I guess all of you.
Time to go.
I think we all put a hand on Scamp, probably.
As you all
yeah.
grab hold of a Scamp. So this is like...
Oh, that's my
Okay,
tail.
so
Let go.
you're
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, okay, so you're all kind of like... You're not out of sight of everyone, I'd like to point out. This is like in the bazaar still. Mm-hmm. So, like, this is a public place.
Yeah,
to
but
some
we're not going
degree.
to know what happened.
Okay. In which case, everyone grabs hold of
they
you.
might, but...
And there is a flickering around you as as veils of black stretch out from beneath the bazaar, encircling around you. A few panicked-looking denizens of the bazaar look over in surprise before you are completely encircled in the void. And then a moment later, as you wind's whipping up around you, and then a moment later the black veils collapse and you are back at Wayne Manor.
There we go. Saved us a walk, didn't
Well
it?
done.
Alright, I'm gonna double check and make sure that there's, at least as far as I can tell, no one has followed us here somehow.
Looking around, peering, give me a perception check, please.
Do you think they were scrying on us
Disadvantage
or anything?
if you're alone on site.
I'd have been scrying on us if it was me.
That's a good point, but perception, that is a 27.
Okay. As far as you can tell, there is...
I'd see a magic eye sensor if there was one.
Alright, see a magic eye sensor if there was one. That's a good point. I didn't think to scry on you at that point, so you don't see one.
Hooray!
Scamp, this is probably really paranoid, but could you drop a quick detect magic and just check that, I don't know... it's not-
I mean, the answer is no. I can drop a slow detect magic. Because that's how it works.
Yeah, I'll reset my wand and do a sweep. Yeah, give me about 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, just,
Yeah,
I just
it'll
want
give-
to check
it'll
that there's
do it,
nothing
yeah.
on us, you know?
Yeah, 10 minutes can do.
Yeah.
10 minutes later after rebuilding.
Well, at least if they are
things.
scrying, it'll be really unimpressive 10 minutes that they watch
Yeah.
us sitting here
Yeah.
to take magic.
I mean, I just had to ask anyone in the marketplace what we did. Not that anyone will really know what we did.
Yeah, you also can't tell where this is from the inside, so...
Yeah,
True.
I'm just working something out. Because of the ways... I'm working something out to do with how scrying... How I know that scrying works. Okay. Over the next 10 minutes, you do not see a scrying sensor appear.
Okay. Good.
I will confirm that. So, quick detect magic shows up very little that you did not expect. There's definitely a residual sense of conjuration type effect around the area you have just teleported onto. Like there is a sort of decaying residue of what you of the spell you've just cast, but beyond that, and of course the fact that all of you shine up like lighthouses under the beam of
We're
detect
a
magic
magical lot.
from the wand, nothing new, nothing unexpected. So, with that in mind, Victory kind of clicks off the wand. Okay, that is that's everything covered.
All
I
right.
don't see any reason to delay.
4 down, 1 to go.
Let's get on with it.
Let's do the thing.
Who wants to do the honours? She says, pointing to the scroll and one of the compasses.
Corzin's the designated adult.
Yeah, Corzin, you do the brain things and sort this for us.
Well, I've not really done this before, but all right, I'll give it a go.
Yeah, so we don't. Yeah. Is there like a particular skill that's going to be useful?
I was going to say, mechanically, what is required to calibrate this?
Not much.
Touch it and think about
yeah,
the thing.
as you
Yeah.
following the broker's instructions, you take the
fine.
long scroll. You can see that there are sort of glyphs on it where you designed. Actually, there are glyphs on it where you can see you've clearly designed to like hold it in place. Like 5 little markings that you have to splay your fingers pretty wide to get.
Like a giant hand to Corzin, so that's like,
Right, but you're just about able to touch them. With the help of the others, you tap it against the compass, and glancing at one of the other, glancing at the other, the totem that you've just acquired. Which Victory is busy dragging into place. You see, you kind of fix that in your mind, and Victory calls out, "Just make sure to think about the one that was on the roof. Like, remember that one clearly, would you?"
right. I've got that fixed in my head.
Yeah.
Got it. I can actually picture that, can't I?
Yeah, you can. You remember what it looked like on the roof. Okay. And when you're ready, you can tap one to the other and declare what you are seeking.
Corzin, like, slightly awkwardly because of the size of the objects involved, brings them together and says, "The totem from the roof."
Okay. As you speak the words, you feel warmth beneath where your splayed fingertips are just going.
Oh, it's doing something.
You see the whole scroll begins to light up. Brilliant energy passing through different traceries, kind of almost like a circuit board. There's a brief moment where it looks like strangely Tron-like in appearance. It glows brightly. It gets almost uncomfortably hot, but not quite hot enough, before a pulse of light discharges into the compass. The scroll, its work done, crumbles into a mixture of metal flakes and dust. And the compass needle spins 3 times and then sets. For a moment, seeming to go forwards. You rotate it a little, it stays going forwards. Then you realise you can tilt it, move it around so that you can actually, because it's fundamentally a two-dimensional object.
Oh, right.
And with a little movement, you realise, oh no, it is pointing straight up.
Corzin looks straight up and sees the ceiling, presumably.
Assuming you did this outside in the garden,
Oh, right, yeah.
you just see
Black.
you see black void.
You're supposed to give us more detailed instructions. Do we just go up until it changes?
I guess, yeah.
I suppose.
I think we're going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to go up at least to the extent of the way we can travel.
Well, we can fly quite far, at least.
Yeah, I can cast it on on myself or on one of you. If you can do that, if you can cast it as well, we'll just have to have two people carry two others.
Oh, we've done that before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can
Jeffrey, because Marjorie can just fly.
fly, yeah.
She sort of does the thing when you're like talking to animals, where she like leans forwards, puts her hands on her knees, and goes like, "Sorry, Stormy, I don't think you can come to this one."
You wouldn't want to fly, would you?
No.
You'd hate it. You
No.
could stay here and eat all that toad in the hole that's still left.
Stormy would love to fly.
Licks her mouth.
Show the birds what's what.
I give her a kiss on the nose.
She kind
Yes, I love
of
her.
she kind of recoils, but like licks your arm.
Yes. I will see you later. Ask Butler Man for anything you need. He'll understand.
Young master.
Whoa!
That's
What?
impressive.
It sort of blinks.
She usually wants fish or water, darling.
Fish, water, of course.
Not fish water, oh no. What's fish water?
Well, I'm sure it'll
few
be fine.
moments later, you can see there is a bowl, like a mixing bowl of water, some what appears to be a small toasted fish, and a small jar of fish paste.
I mean, she'll be happy with that. That'll do.
Does anyone want this creepy hand? We're just sort of defaulted to grabbing hold of it myself, but can anyone make better use of it?
I've never wanted anything less, personally.
Fair enough.
I don't see what use I would put it to that you couldn't.
Fair enough. I'll just have a creepy hand to add to my ridiculous list of cantrips.
Yeah.
3,
I suppose if we're ever
6,
worried
7,
about
8,
somebody being
9.
defenceless and we happen to be in a fight, it might be a good thing to give to them, but otherwise, you just use it.
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem. I've got 9 cantrips.
Also be useful if we run into any more undead.
With it.
No, it won't. It'll be the opposite of useful. It does... like necrotic stuff.
Yeah,
That would do nothing to them. They're
Oh, of
already
course,
all
I was
necrotic
thinking
and
of-
stuff.
I
Although,
think it is something else.
no, I think it does do something against undead a little bit, doesn't it?
Maybe, but like not as much.
Like, yeah, but it has a different effect on undeads.
I don't
Am I
know.
misremembering that? The chill touch does something to undead, doesn't it?
Right,
Yeah, it's
who's
an undead
carrying
target.
who?
Disadvantage
Yeah,
on
who
attack
am I?
rolls.
Who am I enchanting?
I could do 2 and you could do 2, then we could all fly and we'd have to worry about carrying and dropping anyone.
I can't double spells the way you can.
Just cast it up a level. Hypothetically, if that was a thing that existed.
That's a good point. I actually, Jason has forgotten that that's a thing you can do. Like,
Yeah, I think it's at 4th level you can get 2 targets.
okay, let me just see how many spell slots Victory has.
Not as many as Scamp.
Because the Scamp has unholy numbers of spell slots due to additional skulls that they're
Yeah, but
enchanted to.
we still get Victory will still have sorcery points to the same to her level.
Yeah, if the DM could remember, how to do sorcery points on the fly while also doing
everything
everyone
else.
Oh yeah,
else.
no, I can't.
So, like, you have a bit of an advantage over Victory
Oh, yeah,
there by
but-
virtue of just not doing everything.
But if you need the info on how many it is, I've got it on hand.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
spell.
You know what? Tell me how many sorcery points Victory would have.
Is she level 15?
Yes.
Then it's 15. It's the same as your level.
Okay, and it's the right. I'm just going to give her basically 3 extra 5th level spell slots then, and I will call that convenience
Fair.
because
Totally fair.
Don't do the maths.
Yeah,
like you would if you were playing
I
Heretic
do not
player.
want to faff around with the maths.
No, you don't need
Do
to.
not.
Thank
It's not worth it. Yeah.
Right. So that being the case, then okay. Victory bites her lip a little, but nods. All right. If you think that's the best approach, let's.
I'm just worried about
cast it loads.
But what if we have to fight something? And we end up dropping someone?
Yeah.
True. I suppose that's a fair point.
Hang
All
on,
right.
Celestia,
Well, if
don't
it
you
looks
that
like we're
thing
going
that
to have
allows
to
you
do it for
glide?
ages, let's think about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
let's
I mean,
start
if-
with everyone flying.
Yeah.
Magical flying circus it is then.
Hooray!
In which case, she grabs hold of Corzin. You take hold of Celestia, and as the pair of you cast your spells, her as ever with their small clap of thunder and her hair just immediately flying on end. You're all able to lift up into the air and, following the compass, begin to fly up. And as to where that journey takes you, we'll find out after these, no doubt important, messages.
Where'd they go? They were right there. We were following them. They were right there. They didn't just dive into a shop, did they? No, they were heading back where they came from. I'm sure of it. It's not like they just were gripped with a sudden urge to like, rate, and share Flintlocks and Fireballs, or support their Patreon. Anyway, you'd have to be over on the other side of town to do that. We're gonna have to go and tell the boss about this. 1, 2, 3, nod it.
And welcome back. The compass takes you up. Straight up at first. You fly more or less almost vertically. But 2 minutes later you see you see amidst the sheer blackness the angle turns sharply 90 degrees. Takes you a moment to orient. You then follow it, seemingly just completely at odds from where you thought you were going. Up again. Forwards, left, forwards, right, back, down
It's weird.
for some distance for a good 5 or 6 minutes
We tying a shoelace here?
before.
we
Yeah.
never would have found this without this compass, would we?
No, I'm
Like,
really glad
really
we didn't
never.
try.
Not on the first try, no.
Oh, I love your faith in us.
I
that
love
we'd
your
ever
enthusiasm.
abandoned.
Then twisting back round again before flying up further. This path. Overall, you continue to fly upwards.
Can we write down the directions, please?
You do your best to do so.
Yep.
But
Just
this
make
is-
a vague attempt.
Just in case.
But this is getting complex quickly. There are points where you feel like where the compass turns in very specific directions, almost as if you're having to fly in a curve. At one point, I'm going to say, Scamp, you fly a little bit further out from the others and pass through a veil.
Oh no.
And you just lose them and you fly backwards and see them again.
Please don't do that. That was the worst.
I hated it. I didn't want to do it. Let's never do that again.
Nope, that's finished now.
Yeah.
All done.
The house, like the mansion, the scoop of land it is on is long since gone. you are flying through pitch blackness, some of which is apparently more obscuring than others. After 10 minutes, you recast your flight spells and carry on. So this has now cost you 2 4th level spells.
Cool.
20 minutes in, you need to do it again.
Shall we start being a bit more economical on the flight spells, folks?
Can we climb or
No,
keep
still
moving up
nothing.
anyway?
What are we climbing on?
There's nothing solid yet.
Yeah.
Sure.
If we want to conserve, we're just going to have to double up.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Who wants to do the carrying and who wants to be
I mean,
carried?
I feel like Corzin on my back makes slightly more sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In which case, Scamp, do you want to be carried or carrying?
I'll do the carrying.
Okay. I mean, I'll say victory off. The victory's like, you fly this leg, and then if we have to do it again, I'll switch round.
Sure.
Carry you. All right. So this time, in which case, you've spent two 4th level spells, and this is you now spend a 3rd level spell slot.
Put the Corzin on my shoulders
Yep.
like he's a child.
Oh, it's like a child riding on the shoulders. Love
Yes.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to part the hair so you can see.
Oh.
Yeah.
30 minutes in, you're still not there yet, wherever there is.
This is the
Okay.
worst.
Okay.
Let's just keep doing it.
Nothing has changed. You're following the compass. Like, the directions change, sometimes abruptly, sometimes continuing on for straight periods. And you are continuing to fly up, but with strange changes or twists.
Oh, I hate
40
it.
minutes in.
Okay, I'll cast the 4th one, so we've got 2 flying, but yeah, I'll use a spell for
All right,
both people.
I'll use a 4th in 10 minutes if we still need to.
Sure.
This is the worst.
Victory does indeed swap round though, carries you this time.
I do have one of those pearls of spell if we end up running out. Only one.
If it comes to it, but
Good to know. We might need it.
I've still got a few
another
more
10
in me,
minutes
don't worry.
passes. Victory casts.
Fuck.
Finally, after just under an hour
God.
of flight.
Lucky we can fucking fly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, otherwise you'd have had to like quest for a magic carpet or something. After just under an hour of flight, Corzin, you are the first with your massively stereoscopic vision to catch sight of a glimmer of light in the distance.
Oh, I've got something.
Really? Oh, good.
That way.
Corzin, from your shoulders points, you can now see it. You all fly, and it is indeed where the compass is pointing, in the direction of this glimmer of light, which, as you approach, you realise is a crack in the darkness through which you can see, just make a note of what time it is now, you can see the glimmering of golden light. With with barely 2 minutes left on your flight spell, you reach the crack, and peering through, you can see a valley stretching beyond, with a mixture of green pastures, golden fields. You can see orchards. There is a blue sky that is growing rosy on the far side that you can see. You seem to have hit more or less at golden hour, actually.
Ooh.
And it looks like you're on one edge of a deep valley surrounded by hills, in the center of which there appears to be a small settlement of some sort. do you want to pass inside?
If the compass is still pointing
Yeah.
that way,
It is
so-
indeed.
Yeah.
Let's do the thing.
You slip through into this hidden world. Because of the swap around, Victory happily slips out of your arms this time, Scamp, and onto terra firma. She sinks to the ground and just kisses the grass. Oh,
I fucking hate flying.
Yeah.
I normally love flying.
I love flying.
I can
I
usually see
go
the
on
ground.
about it a bit less these days, but it actually still makes me feel super weird, and it's even weirder in the void, and I hate it.
Yeah, the void is the problem bit. I'm not a fan of that.
Now that I have terra firma to do this on, I'm going to cast Primeval Awareness.
Okay.
Oh,
great
it was a clever one.
You touch the ground and pulse. As usual, the roaring of the sea from Celestia. One instance of the roaring of the sea. Okay, so this is getting interesting. You sense... Right, Piccolo Fey scent of Marjorie.
Okay.
And
Sounds like a perfume.
Yeah.
It does.
And a
Perfect called
strong sense of brimstone.
Okay.
There's a strong sense of fiends within a mile.
Okay.
You glance around. The sky is looking around. Think that things are pretty clear of spirits as well. Apart from, of course, Rainbow Spirit, the Fish Spirits, and the Ambivalent Octopus, and the three monochrome copies of Scamp lounging around Scamp that you can see.
My posse.
Alright, I've got, other than the usual stuff, obviously, Fiend.
Oh.
I mean,
Fun.
that doesn't feel wildly... I'm so sorry, my headphones are just saying mental. They're real broken. Anyway, there we go. They're fixed now, it's fine. If you had a clunk, apologies. I mean, that's not enormously surprising here. Like, I feel like most of what we ran into in the bazaar must have been Fiend, mustn't it?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but I like that there's nothing super weird.
No.
That's kind of nice.
I figured it was worth checking out.
Oh, definitely. Great idea. Love that spill.
Oh, yeah.
Cracking.
Let's try not to get into too many big fights today, because I've already done quite a lot.
Yeah, sorry
I'm getting
about
that
that
feeling
one.
too. Ooh.
Fuck all to be done there, unfortunately.
Oh, I know, but just give us a heads up.
Definitely.
Corzin, you glance down at the compass. It is pointing pretty much dead straight across the valley, like to or either straight to or past, like, it's kind of hard to tell, the settlement in the centre.
Does the compass have, compass directions on, like north, south, east, west?
Not really. It's more it doesn't function as an ordinary compass. It's where it points you. It has gradations with coloured markings on, so you can presumably to aid the user in figuring out how far off their current bearing what they're seeking is. But there is no north marker because or anything, because it's kind of fundamentally useless.
Yeah, because we established that regular compasses just go haywire here.
Yeah. So this is just points in the direction of what you're trying to find, and what you're trying to find is in the direction of the village. Peering down, you can see you make out a little bit more of the structure from above. There is a large sort of central building in more of the classical gigantic style that you're used to seeing. Red pillars, thicker at the top than the base, fluted columns, that sort of thing, bright colours. And clustered around it are actually sort of conical red clay buildings that remind you quite a lot of the buildings you saw in some of the outlying towns and villages of around Inyan. Painted in a similar style with repeating black wavy lines.
Alright, so definitely more giant architecture.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's
Looks
anyone
like it.
home.
Yeah, let's try not to bump into anyone if we could avoid it.
Definitely.
Alright.
Okay, if you are being stealthy,
Put a hood up.
I'm
Go for
going
nice
to,
stupid
put my hood
hair.
up.
I'm going to require stealth checks, please.
Ooh, decent.
15.
Maz 24.
11.
Okay, I'll roll for victory. Sorry, actually roll for victory. Okay. The four of you kind of keep low.
I have
and-
disadvantage. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. Yeah, less.
Okay.
8.
Yeah. And begin making your way through the kind of through the higher bits of grass where they're available, past bushes and trees. Interestingly, though, you glance backwards at the hole. It is just hanging in midair. It's just a crack in the air, beyond which you can see more verdant-looking valleys stretching in the other direction.
This place is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, everywhere we've been so far in hunting for these things, it's like it's broken through some kind of barrier into somewhere else. So, are these things all just like stacked on top of each other, or like side by side, or what?
I don't know.
I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's like a big ball of wool that's got all tangled up.
Yeah.
That does.
This theory, though, I've no fucking idea really when it comes down to it.
Oh.
Feels like lots of little fish tanks that were all next to each other and they couldn't go between each other, and then we just smashed into them and now bits are spilling in and out.
Well, that would certainly mean there'd be water all over the floor.
Yeah. Strange.
Alright, well, as before then, I guess just look for the path of destruction.
Yep.
And the
follow the
path,
compass.
and a path of destruction there is.
Oh, good.
You
We ruin everything.
You spot, as you make your way down, you do spot a point where a tree appears to have been struck by something and cracked in half. And further down, a point where a bush has been partially ripped up. There is a furrowing in the earth where you can almost envision something smacking off the tree through the bush, grinding through the earth before flying up through the air again. And as you get closer down, you can see, notably even from a distance, there is a hole in the wall of that central gigantic structure,
Oh, good.
which looks recent.
We always have to break the biggest thing, don't we?
Yeah, we suck.
What were they attracted to?
I mean, that's a good question.
You also notice a number of figures,
Oh.
including at least a dozen of them kind of clambering up the hillside towards you. You see, dressed in light, in light clothes that are easy to move in, which are tight to the skin, hunter's gear, what appears to be a dozen Achene making their way up. They appear to have spears, and some of them are holding what look more like wicker baskets that have been hastily converted than actual shields. But they are looking round for something. And as you kind of try and rush and move to conceal yourself behind the broken tree and the bushes, you see one of them spots Celestia.
Obviously.
And calls out, "Hoi! What's in there? Hoi!"
I put my hands
we
up
didn't cast
in
the
the
thing.
universal not fighting gesture.
And actually, sorry, they will go like, "Kuloi, hunat, hoi kun tulukain." And Corzin, you reckon you can just about make out what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Rather than a Achene, exactly, this appears to be a... you get a very broken sense of it, because it's potentially centuries diverged,
Yeah.
but it feels like a dialect of Gigantic.
Okay, so this is going to be like the equivalent of Old English to Modern English, isn't it?
Yeah, so you, in the way of, like, you're all like a... or a bit more like a Dutch person understanding German.
Right. Okay.
There's been some root causes. You can just about make out the cause. You've got enough loan words that you can understand here, but this is a little thing.
All right, so I get the gist of what they're saying?
Yeah, so you can see there is an Achene... The one who calls out is an Achene woman with blue skin, yellow feathers, bright yellow eyes, who calls out, "Halt! Who are you? What are you doing?" Celestia just sort of puts their hands
Yeah,
up.
put my hands up like not fighting.
Right, okay.
Hello!
Corzin will attempt to respond in his best giant, although I would imagine his accent is probably all over the place because he's never had anyone to practice with. So, hello, we're not here to harm anyone. We're just looking for something.
One of the others goes, "Wait, they speak?
Yes.
Hold! There's a panic look.
2 thumbs up. A smile.
What are... They appear to see... So, Corzin's walked out.
Yeah.
Celestia they've
Corzin
seen.
will,
And they say,
reveal himself.
"What are you?" Just looking at you with some shock and confusion.
If they're looking at Corzin specifically,
Yeah, Corzin and Celestia, like, they've never seen
Right, okay.
either of...
Celestia is
Never seen a halfling, never seen
shrugging,
an elf.
no
kind
idea
of
what
look.
they're saying.
So Corzin points to himself and says, "Halfling," points to them, Achene, then to...
The Achene nods. Yes, points to herself. Senomadane.
Senomadane was that?
Is that their name?
They point to themselves again. Achene, Senomadane.
Right, halfling, Corzin.
You are Corzin.
Celestia Stardust.
Celestia Stardust.
That'll do. Great. I feel I would have heard you say Corzin, so I felt like I could join in with that.
Yeah.
There's a sort of...
I don't know
cautious
that they're
nodding.
asking what species I am. So, like, yeah.
At which point, Victory kind of hisses to Scamp. Do we stay hiding, or...
I don't know. Like, we either have to stay hidden forever or come out now, because it's going to get awkward otherwise.
Okay, maybe we should... Yeah.
Let's go out
Victory
now.
steps out from the bush, at which point they panic. But monsters! You're with the monsters!
No,
They're with us.
no.
They're friends. Friends.
Oh dear.
We should have stayed in the bushes.
Where did you come from?
Corzin, like, you can't obviously see the crack that we came through, but Corzin will just sort of point in that vague direction. It's like, from over there.
The other hole. You came from the other hole.
There's another hole? Did you... Oh, did you come here from somewhere else?
This is as she's comfort. They murmured. Oh. No. This is our home. We come
Right.
from here.
I thought so. So,
But you are from the hole. Place
elsewhere, yes.
Outside, yes. They seem to be like trying to adapt to your version of gigantic at the same time as theirs, and like sticking to simple words.
Yeah.
They look panicked.
Corzin will like point to the various different buildings around here and say, "This is your home?"
Yes. You are not here. You are not here to. She gestures a lot. Like, take us.
No. Absolutely not.
There's a brief murmured exchange. You get the sense of, like, do you trust them? Like, I don't know. And one of them you hear that says, like, Tekarnato should see them. There is a biting of the lip. You will come with us. Stay where we can see you.
All right.
They spread out. They
Play
look.
it cool, everybody. I think we're all right for the moment.
We don't think we're in trouble.
I don't think that. Well, they weren't expecting us. Put it that way. But
That seems pretty reasonable. I wouldn't
yeah,
expect us here.
given the
either.
situation,
No,
I don't think.
I don't
that's
think
entirely-
anyone's ever expected us.
No, we're not normal.
I genuinely don't think they've seen anybody like us before.
They seem to
Yeah.
react pretty strongly. Yeah.
I mean, if they've lived here and just seen each other, like, fair enough.
Yeah.
Although,
Also, even if they've
know,
seen Drow, I'm weird.
that we know there's something infernal here, don't we?
Oh, it's not
So-
them, is it?
No, it's not. And they had
Shit.
a very strong reaction to me and Victory.
Monsters. Shit. Let's keep an eye on that.
Well,
Victory.
I think we'd better go with them for now.
Yeah.
Nixon says, I think, we might need to do it as we walk, I could try I'm a bit leery about it, but I could try to prepare it, changing the wand up to translate.
It'd probably help.
Might be helpful to have more people
Like,
who can
the-
understand.
She
Corzin, will you tell them what she's doing, though?
Yes.
She starts tinkering with the wand, and they immediately like point the spears.
No,
Like,
no,
what are you doing?
That will help. This can allow us, all of us, to speak without
Is it a speak or is it
Problems.
an understand? Just to check.
It's an understand.
to understand each other. I will try and explain that, like, the other people I'm with can't speak this language.
Okay, of
this
course,
will help them.
roll a persuasion check.
Right. Oh boy. Okay, that is 10.
They're sort of. No. Not until we reach Tekarnato.
Alright, they don't want
Is
you
that-
to do anything until we get where we're going.
All right, let's leave it. Let's not push them.
Yeah,
I
let's
mean,
not,
it's,
let's
it's
not risk
fuck-
it.
honestly, it's fucking scary enough to have us appear out of nowhere, really, isn't it?
Yeah, what would...
Do you translate everything they've said so far? Just out of curiosity, Corzin.
I'd probably be... Well, I will only be getting the gist myself, so I'll be trying to pass on the gist.
We're probably getting a slightly broken version. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will assume that I have not caught all the details then.
Okay. They escort you, kind of keeping a fair distance, like down towards the settlement. You can see that there are, I believe, at least a few hundred that you can see Achene down there, but there might potentially have been that you can see that the settlement could potentially house over 1,000, maybe as many as 2,000 or 3,000. If it was spread out along the whole valley, you can see that there are certainly farms and fields. This was a self-sustaining agricultural community that apparently had not, given into complete genetic degradation after however many centuries they've been here. So, but
do these Achene look visually like any of the other Achene we've encountered thus far?
They do. You can see the same general appearance. Some have feathers, some have hair. Their skin tends to be the same sort of bright primary colours that you're used to seeing, with similar bright coloured eyes and hair variations and so on. They seem closer in appearance to the. Sorry, my mind is running a slight blank here. Let me just grab my notes on this.
Good.
They are closer in appearance, less to the Achene of Inyan in their appearance, but a little closer to the Achene that you have seen, less to the Panuki Achene from Nia's Inyan, and more to the sort of nomadic style Yamasaur Achene that you've met before. They're so different, but again, there's some cultural differences.
Can I check this person's name again? Because I've written down a phonetic version just so appallingly that I can't read it.
Senomadane.
Senomadane. That's the bit that I've got wrong in my notes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Spelling is appalling because I've written it phonetically, but that'll do.
There is quite a lot of attention there as dozens of people come out of houses where they seem to be sheltering, seeing you upon seeing the arrival of these 4 bizarre strangers. They regard, you get a definite sense that they are regarding Scamp and Victory with a mixture of fear and hostility. And confusion at the pair of you. A lot more with spears and haste. And honestly, the spears that you can see look. Some of them are more like fishing spears. Others have the look of fundamentally kitchen knives hastily strapped onto a long stick. There is
knife on a stick.
There is an improvised feeling to a lot of the weaponry here.
Do any of them look at spirits?
No, none of these that you can see seem to perceive the spirits around you.
I was just curious.
No, that's a very good idea.
But you can hear a sort of hurried explanation from Senabadane, like, it is okay. It is okay. We have found these travelers. They came from the other hole, the other one. And others call. Will monsters come from the other hole now? They say they are the only ones. Corzin's the only one who gets this directly, but you can easily translate.
Corzin will be affirming this insofar as he can.
We should post guards at the other hole. I agreed.
Sensible,
Take a dozen, watch the other hole. Do not let up on the. Do not let up on the.
Can't help it.
Do not let up on the western hole.
Gotta keep your eye on both holes.
You never know what will happen.
Hole is the
Come out
hole
of
is the nearest word that is being translated
Right
for
word, it's the
causes.
right word.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
yeah.
Also, the other one you could use is crack. So it's not a lot better, is it? To be
Hole,
honest.
crack, breach,
Yeah,
take
Or
your
tear.
choice.
Exhausted
Tear would be
fisher.
bad.
Yeah. And there's a. You are led to the gigantic complex, which
Vaguely
and-
wave at people and try and look non-threatening.
there's sort of people recoil a little.
No. I
There's
stop waving.
like one small child does wave at you, but they're very much the exception. There's a look of
I'll
fear.
return the wave.
The gigantic, as I said before, you can see now much closer smashing through the wall where of one side of the gigantic structure. The broken bricks and masonry has been tidied up at least here that you can see. But you can also see another one through the other side.
Oh
of
no.
it. And as you approach the center, you can see that there's a sort of large central space where there was a pillar that has been partly smashed at the top, and you can see shards of something, some sort of ceramic object being collected and placed onto the top of this broken pillar. A number of Achene are busy talking and conversing in hurried murmurs, but they go silent on your arrival. And Seno Madane calls out, "Elder Tekanato, we have found strangers from the eastern hole." One of the elderly-looking Achene with dead white skin, red hair, and red eyes that are going a little pinkish at the edges, turns round and their jaw drops as they see you, and you see their eyes flick over the numerous spirits around you.
A little look of recognition.
Oh no, they're gonna see all of me.
And yes, their eyes linger on the multiple versions of Scamp.
Okay, out of character, what was the term that the other Achene used for people who can see spirits? It was like Dream Seer, wasn't it?
Yeah, dream speaker.
Dream Speakers.
Dream Speaker, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good thought. I'd forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
If Corzin notices this, he'll say, "You are a dream speaker," and indicates the spirits.
He replies, "It is a name not used in generations. Until now, few dreams have been free. And he looks to Sednamane.
He doesn't have any either, does
No,
he?
there's none around him. So he looks to Seno Madai. Oh, I believe these are we may talk." Victory leans in. "Can you get them to let me do the spell with the language?"
Yes,
Yes, same place.
my friends have something that can allow them to understand what you are saying. They do not speak this language.
"Stories tell of times long past when the makers could do such things, to speak with those beyond, in the forgotten world. Very well. They will perform a craft as the makers did. Allow them.
I think I'm doing it with a colouring book. It's not
Yeah.
quite how is it?
But the pair of you both work on comprehend languages spells.
I love that I'm the only one that can't understand.
I know, I feel so bad.
But if there's more people that can understand, it's easier for someone to translate while someone is talking,
Yes,
so that still
exactly.
helps,
Yeah.
you know?
While they're doing that, actually,
And Corzin's the only one who can speak.
Yeah.
So.
yeah,
Yeah.
Corzin will say in Jovan specifically, if our totem created one of those holes, what made the other one?
You make a good point, darling. Don't know.
Assuming our totem's not gone out again.
Oh shit, that's a terrible thought. It totally
I
could have
know.
done. What if it made
Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah.
No, it sounded like one was here before.
Well,
Right.
Mind you, I'm
it's
hearing
just
all the
nothing's
second
come.
hand.
Nothing's come out of the one we well. I can't stop. Oh dear. Nothing's come out of the hole that we came out of before. But it doesn't
No.
mean that they didn't
You're
appear at the same
You're
time.
the worst. Stop
I
giggling.
know.
Like
I
it-
can't.
You
I
can't.
can-
You can't giggle. People are looking at us.
I know.
I can ask them. You mentioned there was another hole. Did one of these holes appear more recently?
He thinks for a moment. 3 days until 3 days ago, the breaches opened. Something came from the east where the sun rises. It flew through our home. It smashed there, he gestures to one wall, and it came through and gestures to the other hole on the opposite side, and beyond to the edge of the valley where it's created the other hole.
Yeah.
I think you were right, Scamp.
I hate being right.
Well, our
sometimes.
thing made a hole.
Our thing made 2 holes.
Oh no.
It was changed everything. He gestures
Everything?
to the spirits around you. Before that day, I knew of dreams, but I had never seen them.
Oh, so this is, and he again gestures to the spirits. This is the first time you have seen beings like this.
Not before the breaches were opened. He gestures to the pieces of shattered ceramic.
Go on.
Our legends tell, when the makers still lived, they could weave dreams into things of power. They held them in jars. We kept one of these jars here that was the means by which the makers could weave new people as they once wove us. But when the thing came through, it smashed the jar, and countless dreams were released. I am the only one to have seen them. Others could not. Most fled through he gestures to the west, through the other breach.
Okay.
To
I
the
don't say
place
anything
where the
immediately.
monsters come from.
Did you translate this?
I'm about to, but before I do that, I don't say anything immediately. But do I know of anything just straight off that would cause spirits to act like that, to be drawn specifically to a special place?
Ooh, roll a religion check.
We've had the opposite happen, haven't we? Where they
Yeah, we
wanted
have.
to go somewhere.
Right, that's an 11.
I mean, yeah, you don't know. You've definitely seen cases where spirits have been driven to leave a place. But you don't really know a lot about the motivation of spirits. Beyond what you just... Like, you do know that spirits will flock to interesting things happening, but it would appear that whatever these spirits were did not want to stay here.
Yeah, I will make it clear to Tekanato that until the others have finished their work, I'm going to be translating for my friend, and I will attempt to give the gist of whatever they are saying to Celestia.
I turn to the Rainbow Spirit. Are you feeling anything here? Like a pull, a draw, anything you're scared of? What's happening for you right now?
This is a bit of a weird one. It's not like the other place. It's not like I can't be here, but I can feel pain etched into the stone, almost. It's like... I feel like... It's like I've come to the site of... It's like I've come somewhere where a great wrong was done. And I don't think it's going to happen to me, but it's just not comfortable.
Like if there'd been a really big massacre.
Yeah, I guess
there's not immediate danger of another one, but you can feel that something like really bad has happened to people like you here.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the closest.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I was feeling something funny from you.
No, it's the
maybe they had
rainbow
a load
spirit
of you
stems
trapped.
like a little rainbowy tendril towards the broken jar. That feels dangerous.
Yeah, you're feeding that back into me. I think there were maybe a lot of spirits trapped here, weren't there?
Possibly for a very long
For
time.
how long? Maybe for a really long time. I mean, the giants didn't like fucking spirits, man.
That's true.
Yeah, I've kind of gotten that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, there was that whole bit where we couldn't go in before.
Yeah.
Victory finishes clicking her wand. Okay, I think I should have a sense of what people are saying now.
Alright, one way to find out.
Great. While Corzin's talking, could one of you just translate?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've
sure.
both got
I'll-
that. Thank you. Because, I mean, none of the rest of us can speak it, right?
No, it's fine. I'll
Cracking.
translate to
Corzin,
you.
could you just tell them that's what we're doing so that they don't think that we're...
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will try and impart to them that we're translating for the members of our party who can't.
I
There's a
just,
sort
I
of-
just don't want them to think we're like talking about them constantly
Yeah.
or whatever. Like
The way that the victories one works, it hums, and you get a slightly distorted Jovan sort of like, sort of like, hello, this is word, sort of.
Oh, like
Sort of-
Microsoft narrator.
Yeah, coming out.
no,
of it.
like the Google Translate of magic
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Like so, it's a slightly distorted version of Jovan that you get out of it. So, but the Achene, like you see this, are bloomin' impressed at the fact that this thing is now speaking, and you can actually hear them whispering, and the little one sort of goes, "Makers, like the makers." The Tekanato looks quite impressed. Please, we do you came from the Eastern Hall. We sent when the halls appeared. Some of our young went to seek what they were, find what lay beyond. To the east, they saw only darkness. Someone puts up a hand and says, "I threw a rock It just fell forever.
That one's my favourite person.
Best person.
Yeah, can relate to that person.
I just Celestia like does a small bow to that person and just like half giggles.
We chose to warn people away from it.
That was
That
probably
was probably
smart.
sensible.
Yeah.
But the others, they opened into more caves. But not the caves that we have always known. New caves. Strange ones.
What did you find?
They look
I'm gonna guess
uncomfortably at
monsters.
each other. A few of the young went to seek what was beyond. They came back, changed to creatures like, he gestures to Scamp and
Oh.
and Victory.
Huh.
They came back as monsters. They took people from the fields. They have returned more and more since more monsters taking people and dragging them away.
This isn't like that fucking thing in the cave we dealt with ages ago, is it? Because that was horrible. You know, the thing that made all the Achene, like, fucking zombie people. Because that
Oh,
that
the Hatchna.
sucked. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one. The Hatchna, well done.
There's a whisper. That too is a story.
Don't know if it's that. So if somebody can just, yeah. Don't
Someone
know.
goes, some other.
I try and do like a big shrug.
Another of the elder Achene just goes like, "Truly, we are living in a time of legends."
Yeah,
Do they
welcome
think
to our
we're from
lives,
the
darling.
past? Like, to them, do we look like we've travelled from the past? Because here we are talking about, like, all their history and legends and talking their ancient language rather than the modern version.
That's true.
It looks like that's so weird.
That is so weird. Mind you, the giants were really advanced, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are a mess in comparison.
Yep, yeah. Also, though, fuck the giants, because me and this one, I gesture at the Rainbow Spirit, would have been a fucking monstrosity to them.
Yeah.
Many of the Achene are looking at you with interest, concern. They seem to be getting the feeling from talking to each other that you are not about to start dragging them off into a hole somewhere to
Yeah,
be
can I
turned into
do
monsters.
everything I can to reinforce that?
Yeah.
Please do.
Corzin will say, so, prior to 3 days ago when the holes appeared, you'd never seen any creatures like this before.
No. This, since, for as long as any can remember, our tales tell that the last of the Makers brought us here when the old world was forgotten, and we have lived here ever since, caring for their bones, living out our lives. The world ends where the hills end. There seem to be more, but one cannot pass beyond them. Could not pass beyond them until the holes were opened. It is said that once there was a gate between the edge of the valley and the forgotten world, but that the last Makers hid it, sealed it away, for the forgotten world was too filled with danger. If they knew how to return that, they did not pass it on before they passed.
I think they were afraid of being found by whatever it was they were running from. We have travelled far, my companions and I, and we've seen other places like this where the makers were and lived for a time. There are many places like this, apparently.
This news is just like wildfire among the Achene, who are seemingly momentarily forgetting their literal mortal terror they're living in, but just these astonishing revelations of
this
other
is
places.
like being told that there's definitely a multiverse. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, there's other Earths just round the corner. Like, we're astonished none of you ever found the portal. It's like,
Just wandering into your
Like,
living
yeah.
room and telling you this.
Yeah. Yeah, like a full-on alien coming into your living
Oh,
room
yeah.
and saying, "Oh yeah, just through there's like 10 more of these."
You see at least two that are just having a full-on existential crisis in the corner.
That seems fair. Yeah.
You did that.
I hate us.
Should we try and find a way for these people to maybe leave this tiny little? It's not that tiny, but you know what I
maybe
mean.
if they want to.
They should have the
Yeah, they should have the
option
option
if they
if we
want.
can.
I think maybe the and again switching back to Joven for a moment, I think maybe they've been given that option whether they like it or not.
Well, not necessarily. We might be able to stop whatever's happening in the other hole, and then just have two holes that no one's gonna ever come out of again, and just leave them to it.
Well, if they go
Or
through
we can try and find where the way out that the giants just didn't tell them about. Rude.
Well, I think that
The way out might be through our mansion.
It might be, but the giants. They said there was one that the giants had. They just didn't tell them where it was. We can find where it was.
True.
that's true.
Then they have the option.
Also, we
Yeah.
should probably warn them.
Also,
that,
it might be
yeah,
through the fucking hole that we've just made. That might be why they couldn't find it.
I mean, they are kind of properly hidden unless you're coming from the outside.
Yeah.
We should warn them that the eastern hole is dangerous, not in the sense that there's monsters there, but if you go through it, you're liable to fall for ages.
I
mean,
think the
about
rock
at
person
least.
realised that.
Yeah.
Iconic, by the way. Exactly
Incredible.
what I would have done.
Oh yeah, I'd have dropped so many things.
Alright, well, I will
So
say
many.
there are not, to our knowledge, any other beings beyond the eastern hole. But there is...
There is some nods and some relief from the Achene
Just
as you say
imagining
this.
Squinty wandering in with a bath full of coffee.
It is still potentially dangerous, however. There's blackness, it's easy to get lost and never found again.
That your words settle and they nod soberly with this.
But we maybe should look at this other hole, shouldn't we? And see
We
what-
really
Yeah,
should.
would you
We
be
need
able
to
to
go
show
there
us-
anyway. 'Cause
Yeah, would you be able to show us this, the western hole?
Yes. Seno Madane, please take the travellers to the western breach. The Achene woman who first met you nods.
Thank you all for your hospitality.
Thank you for letting us know of that the legends are true, that there is more. And if you can find our people or stop the monsters, please. Near 300 have been taken now.
Oh well. Fuck. Okay, maybe we need to have a little. This is our fault. We
need to
do
fix
something.
this.
Yeah.
This needs properly fixing at this point.
We did a bad again.
Yeah, we
Another
suck.
bad. We are the worst.
No, there was
Eventually
no way
we're
we
gonna
could have known
stop
this
doing bad.
happened.
Yeah,
I
but
know
that
it was
doesn't
an
make it not our
accident,
fault.
But it was still our fault, you know? You can hurt people by accident.
Yes, so
darling.
we're dealing with it.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Yeah.
We're obliged at this point.
Yeah.
The Seno Madane, accompanied by several Chin defenders, gestures to you to follow her. It is about a 5-10 minute walk. Okay, close to a 10-15 minute walk up beyond the edge of the opposite way that you came up through the slopes of the valley before you reach another hole in the air. You smell the hole before, but you smell it before
Why
you see
did
it.
you
There is
do
a sharp
this?
stench of brimstone.
Right, okay.
Gotta have a
No.
monster's product.
The hole is full of terrible, deadly things.
There's
You
one
smell it
hole
before
that
you
it's just
see
a one
it.
forever. There's a deep hole that you drop a stone in and it never lands.
You said it so sincerely as well, with like a real expression of this is so scary on you, and you said you smell the hole before you see it.
Oh, I've
you
got
do-
two
but you
holes.
do
One is vast and endless. This one's smelly.
But there is a thick stench of brimstone that you.
Does
that
brimstone
you
smell a bit like
pick
farts, or
It
am
does
I
in fact
misremembering
smell
that?
strongly
It
of
smells
sulfur.
like
Yes,
fart.
it is. Yep, that
The hole
rotten egg
smells
smell.
like farts.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you do get the scent of rotten eggs.
Yep. Yeah, we do.
And despite yourselves, despite the gravity of the situation, you can't help but giggle.
Yes, Celestia and Scamp are just desperately trying to hold it together. They're both like, the hole smells like farts. How are
Victory
we
just
supposed
has
to go?
a hand over her mouth, just trying to. The Achina just do not share your enthusiasm for the
I
moment.
suck. 300 people.
This is awful. This is so bad.
300 people are lost.
I really hope they're not dead because
In a smelly
fucking
hole.
hell. Oh god.
Ow! I'm in pain. That's what you've done.
Hanging in the air is
Fart
yes
smelling
a jagged crack.
Crack.
Yeah, suspended in the air itself, like a window in the air, beyond the edge of which you can see there is the crest of the valley and more valleys and hills beyond. It is strangely framed by the light of what should be the setting sun, but as with the other places here, there is no sun in the sky, just the light of a setting sun. And through that hole, you can see what appears to be a tunnel or cavern of glassy black rock, and you can feel heat coming out through the hole. The Achene Senamadane swallows dryly. This is as far as we will go.
Yeah, no,
That seems pretty fair.
Alright.
The others went through. We did not see them again as they were.
When they returned, you said that they were changed, that they looked like monsters.
She nods. Half Achene, some of them, but with strange horns and twisted, changed skin, sharp claws.
And that's not Hatchnar then.
No, this
That's
is
Well, it
something
could be
else.
something similar. Like maybe it's something like it, but
actually
different.
is what they're describing closer to lycanthropes.
They're gesturing at the two tieflings
Right.
as they are saying this, but
So unless it's
bigger
werewolves,
and
no.
Yeah. But we know there's something infernal around, so
Yeah, okay.
Something's
Angry.
really wrong.
that'll do it.
Angry. Ugh.
some had weapons like... She gestures to your swords, Corzin.
Okay, interesting.
Oh, weird.
Because that's not the sort of weapons that the Achene would generally use.
No, generally, Achene you've in the past generally use a sort of like almost something more like a long glaive, like a glaive, or almost like a glaive or an aganata, like a long blade on a stick.
Yeah.
And these ones didn't even really have
These ones,
weapons other than makeshift.
yeah, these ones
Yeah,
appear
or
to
like
have
for
put
fishing.
together
Like,
weapons.
yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Wait,
this is deeply
yeah.
disturbing.
Where did tieflings come from originally? Do I feel like I do know that. I've forgotten.
From various, like, what? Demons, supposedly, at
The Victory speaks up. We were all born from the lines of the old gods before the Regent.
Well, we need to talk about this more at length at some point, because we had a vague
but we were
idea
like-
of that, but that's
yeah.
really interesting.
So were we like born as babies, or were the first ones made from like adult something else?
I know
Are they
that
being tieflinged?
I know that our line were born of the father of our line of our lineage of tieflings, supposedly, very literally.
The Goat Lord, yeah?
Yes, between
Or
a
whatever it actually
union
called.
of god and mortal that
Great.
sired us.
I mean, I've not
Okay.
heard it in so many words before, but the spider tieflings underground seem to think they were from some sort of spider god.
Suppose that would
But
make
they
sense.
were like from a literal like birth rather than the first one was made.
Like they were
Nasty
born,
guy.
not like created, fully formed.
Yeah, so these people, like these machines, aren't being turned into the equivalent of tieflings.
Maybe something
I-
adjacent, but
I don't know.
we'll have to find out, won't we?
Yeah, well, the only way we're going to find out is if we investigate this. All right.
Yeah.
I turn to Senator Badane and I say, "You were very wise to keep guard here. We will see if we can find any of your people."
She nods, smiles thinly. Thank you. I hope to see you again as you.
Me too.
It's a disturbing sentiment.
I
Good
mean,
luck.
what would we even look like?
May
being
peace be
tieflings?
with you.
And Corzin bows in a hopefully respectful and beatific manner and moves towards the opening.
Yeah, takes a little effort to clamber over, but as you step through and into what appears to be a tunnel carved through glassy black rock, the only light that you can see here is comes from the window into the other world.
Is this obsidian?
It does, as far as you can tell, you've seen it before, appear to be obsidian, yes.
Well, this is a fortune if ever they find someone who's willing to trade in volcanic glass.
There is...
That's it, we'll just retire and start a volcanic glass shop, shall we?
Yeah, that sounds lovely. Let's do that.
Get your initial seed funding through the bowl that lets you produce infinite opium.
We could make so much money if that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
Just so much money.
But you've got somebody with a problem with you, so you have to have 3 bowls of chocolate a day instead.
Yeah. Like, we could even just make fancy alcohol and
Yep.
sell it, and we just don't.
Yep.
It's a case of we could go on adventures and get a stupendously large amount of money all in one go, or we could start a small business and live comfortably for the rest of our lives.
Yep. Yeah.
The adventurer's eternal question.
Exactly. Okay, but genuinely, if there's like sulphurous brimstone kind of emanating from this, logically, then we're unless some sort of creature is producing this has got to be like due to volcanic activity, right?
Well, that's pretty warm, so maybe.
Feels like it.
It is in fact almost it is uncomfortably hot.
Nah, it's nice.
And it's relatively warm for like it's uncomfortably hot for Celestia and Corzin, to be sure. And again, less of an issue. I think Corzin is actually feeling the air a little less bad than the others, given your halfling poison resistance.
Yeah,
but it is. It's the air is not does not feel very clean. There is a sort of noxiousness to it.
I have a really gross question. So Scamp's dad shit what I saw in the vision that time.
Mm-hmm.
That was like walls of volcanic glass, wasn't it?
You remember seeing a ship of black glass on a sea of fire.
Yeah. Was it like an endless sea of fire, or was there walls?
From what you can remember, it was.
It was underground.
It was
I know
underground.
That. Like
it was
definitely
indeed.
underground.
It was in a cave, on the edge of a sea of fire, moored to a pier of black stone or glass.
Okay.
Sticking out
good.
Were the
into
walls black glass? Or?
The walls were indeed black glass.
I don't
as
say
well.
this. I'm
Thank you.
just gonna keep that to myself.
my mental image is like the Nether in Minecraft.
Yeah, if you're thinking the Nether, you're in the right general area here.
I guess
Okay.
if anybody's watching Celestia, they might notice that she gets a little bit tenser, but that's probably not that notable.
All right,
Are we going down, like, underground?
Interestingly, the tunnel seems to carry on more or less like
Like, straight?
somewhat
Level.
laterally, but
Okay.
like twisting and turning. It feels like It's interesting. The walls are not smooth. They are cracked and jagged, but in places there's a smoothness to them. This feels almost like a sort of hole or tube that was carved into existence at some point by some geological pressure that has since hollowed out through other unknown pressures and become and is traversable. But it's not even, it's not smooth, it doesn't have... It has the feel of geologic rather than artificial.
Do
If
we
any of you
think we're
start to feel
gonna...
particularly woozy, let me know.
Yeah, do we think the air's going to be a problem? Should we, we could all breathe water.
I can
So
also...
we want to put our... Do you just want to breathe some water for a while?
I can also cool us down.
That might be pleasant, actually.
Yeah, let's do that. Prestidigitation, you can.
Yeah.
Like, I can
Yeah.
cool like our clothing down.
Yeah.
But
Even,
I
you
spent
know.
so long feeling cold, it's actually alright. Like, it's a bit warm, but it's not bad.
I'm dying. I think you're made of different stuff to me, Dom.
You're more resilient to the heat, we know this.
Yeah.
Alright. Just make a note.
Yeah, I can do like a cubic foot of non-living material, so I'll just cool
Cool
like
your
the
clothes.
air
Yeah.
or
the
our
air around
clothes,
it.
whatever's easiest.
You do some... You kind of basically do the equivalent of like wetting
conditioning.
your t-shirts, sort of like
Yeah,
in a hot
basically,
day.
yeah.
It provides a little relief, if nothing else. The air does feel slightly hotter on one way down the tunnel than the other, but it's basically left-right.
What's the compass say?
Yeah,
hear
what's
that,
the
mate.
compass telling us?
The compass is saying right.
Right then.
Right, we go.
Towards the heat. Okay. You've travelled down, sloping slowly, having to make your way through the cracked, glassy black rock as the heat grows. 8, 10, 12 minutes slowed because of the difficulty of traversing the terrain. And you're moving through darkness at first, until you get a glimmer of light, and as the heat grows, and you emerge from this twisting tunnel into a much wider, much taller tunnel. As you step out onto the edge of a wide river of slowly flowing molten stone, cracked and black on the surface, but broken through with dull reddish-orange cracks. Barely visible flames lick across the surface of the magma river, but bright enough to illuminate this chamber. The banks beneath your feet are hot to the touch, though not so hot as to instantly set your clothes aflame. The heat is sapping, though. But wide as this hollow tunnel, this natural magma tube is, there are gaps on the banks, as it were, of this river of stone and flame that allow you to walk comfortably. You can see many more small passages winding or twisting out in different directions from the edges of this river. And the compass points now in the direction the river is flowing.
Oof. Hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Tunnels.
Yeah.
is there a way of following the course of the river?
Oh yes, you can just walk along the banks, as it were.
Just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for scary monsters.
Yeah.
You roll perception checks if you want.
Yeah, happily.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna make such a difference. That's a
Natural
9.
20.
Oh, that's a 1.
Oh, nice.
Oh!
Which with my modifier is a 1.
Scamp is a little distracted right now.
I keep thinking about the smelly hole.
Honestly, Celestia is a little distracted because we're underground and surrounded by fire.
Fair.
Your favourite things?
Both my favourite things. Yeah, they're getting a little weird and spacey.
There are spires, and there are spires of rock here and there. Sometimes just jagged, cracked bits that have fallen. In other places, lumps that feel almost like stalagmites or stalactites, but less the slow dripping of water depositing spikes, and more the sense that at some point in the past, a dollop of magma, dollops of magma fell into place and hardened, creating these strangely globular pillars. And a few minutes into your walk, Corzin, you spot up ahead, perhaps 80 feet from where you spot them, 6 figures crouched behind these pillars, these natural rock formations. With your 120 feet dark vision, you're able to spot. You can make out their loose outline, and there is enough light that close up you'd be able to see them in more detail. But they appear to be humanoid, with curling horns, and they seem to be wielding blades that look like scimitars.
Curling horns? Like Victory and Scamp?
They do appear to be curling ram-like horns.
We've never seen other tieflings with those horns, have we?
Yeah.
Apart from Vasilisa, obviously.
I mean, genuinely, do these resemble tieflings in all other respects?
Hard to tell. They're in hiding, but
Right,
you can see a curling horn poking out. You can see that they're humanoid. You catch a glint of a blade that actually, from here, you can see has a very dull sort of like. You know that point when steel is warm enough that it's putting out some like a dull like if you take it out and hold it in the dark, you can just make out that dull red glow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will quietly point these figures out to everybody else.
Oh. Okay.
Looks like the creatures that the Achin were describing.
Everyone's like you.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on here?
Okay, I think the time has come for me to say that when I scried on that ship that time, the walls were like this. So many
Victory,
coincidences.
who does not have one of your your communication pieces, whispers, "Why have we slowed?"
I'll message into her head. 6 figures over there, darling.
Right. Okay.
I don't tell Victory the other thing.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
that's
message again.
awful.
I message to Victory again. Just wave at me if you want to say something. I'll message you.
Okay. I'll just keep ready for a fight.
Yep.
So these 6 figures, they look like they're hiding?
They look like they're... Yeah, roll an insight check.
Okay. Oh, that's just a 10.
They appear to be crouching and hiding.
Do they look like they know we're coming? Like, are they hiding because of us, or is it just general hiding?
You with an insight of 10, you can't tell.
Nah.
I can't tell, but they haven't moved since I saw them first. Looks like they might be just generally waiting and hiding. But for what?
More people to come through to do whatever they're doing to?
Probably.
Should I message and say hi?
That seems like the worst possible idea.
Yeah, I suppose.
What is the range on message again?
Honestly, the worst. Like, just really bad. Like, I love you in that, but fucking hell.
That's a good question. The range on message... Actually,
Like the base is 120.
yeah, but we're using expanding
We've got,
cantrips,
yeah, I haven't
so
got that.
It's like 300 feet at your level, something
Yeah.
like that.
So, I mean, you absolutely could do that, but
Oh, yeah. I absolutely shouldn't, but I absolutely could.
It's not my favourite idea of yours, darling.
Oh, no, it's a terrible one, but it's funny, so I had to say it out
Yes,
loud
but
so I
they've
wouldn't
been
just
like
do
fucking
it.
converting people, haven't they? It just seems bad.
Yeah. They don't seem very nice.
How far away are they?
At this point, 80 feet.
Okay. Oh, fuck no, we're really unlikely to speak the same language anyway. I was thinking about looking at their thoughts, but A, 30 feet, and B, I'm not going to understand what their thoughts are, am I?
No, which is a shame, because I think I probably would.
Yeah, I think you would.
It's going to be infernal, isn't it?
As
Highly
much as me
likely.
trying to garble in Infernal whatever they're thinking would be funny, it's probably not actually useful.
Not subtle, probably.
No, probably not.
So, are they, they're laying in wait up ahead.
They were laying in wait up ahead. You can see that, Corzin, you see them seem to exchange, signal to each other and begin trying to sneak in your direction using the pillars they have, using pillars and pieces of rock for cover. I'm going to say they're moving. They are trying to remain stealthy, but stealthy enough that Corzin, you're the only one who can see them with your passive perception. The others lose track of them for a moment as they change where their previous cover was. I'll say that they're now 60 feet away.
I think they're on the move, heading this way.
Okay, they know we're here. We could just say hi at this point.
I
Otherwise, they're
could
just
sing
gonna
for
try
a
and
minute
ambush
and they'll
us.
like us. which I realise is insane, but it might make them well disposed towards us for a few minutes.
I mean, we could try, but I don't know if they're going to let you just sing for a minute.
Yeah, true.
Whatever you're gonna do, better do it fast.
Why don't we just, like, try and communicate for a start?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's try talking to them and see what happens.
Who does what first?
I'm just going to, like, Corzin, where are they?
I will point out the nearest one to us, to Scamp.
Oh, I'm just
Just
going to
point them out.
wave and
Okay.
say hello in Infernal.
Okay.
Hello!
You stand up and say hello. And just as they're about to start, and you see that they're tensing, about to charge, and then one of them holds up a hand, and there's a look of almost shock as they get close enough that you can now see them. Their hiding is ruined, but there are 6 of them that you can see now. They look wrong, like a cheen but twisted, with curling ram-like horns. Their skin has grown thick, hairy, has become like it has shifted in shade from the bright colours closer towards a dark sort of purplish or pinkish in places. And each of them is wielding a blade of steel scimitar that seems to dully glow with an inner heat. And the one at the front pauses and hearing you speak Infernal and calls back. Wait. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Scamp. Who are you?
We look towards each other. I am Texere. You...
Well,
I do not recognize you.
well, I don't recognise you, so there. Should I?
You... Where are you from? Who created you?
Well, that's a very personal question.
One of the other goes,
And complicated.
they are not one of us. But they look like... They look back. Alright. Silencing for a moment. What is your business here? Victory stands up as well.
Yeah.
We're here to talk. We are here to talk. Victory also talking Infernal, so it's more like...
Mm-hmm.
Texere narrows his eyes. They go, Two of them.
Is it worth asking them if they've seen the thing?
Have you seen, like a...
Can't hurt.
hold on, I'll just minor illusion it, 1 sec. Here, one of these. Have you seen one of these? We're looking for one of these.
You conjure this. You conjure the illusion of the totem. They look at each other and back. Why do you seek that?
Because it's ours. We'd like it back.
Then you are the reason. You began all of this.
Sorry, we do seem to be making a bit of a mess everywhere we go at the moment.
One of them hisses, "We should take them to their lord. He will want to see them."
Oh, they want to take us to someone.
Who?
Some lord.
The
We're not very
Lord?
good with nobility. Like, you should see our track record. It's a mess.
What language are you speaking?
that bit's Infernal.
Yeah, please be clear on this one. But
Sorry.
yeah, because right now
Also, is anyone translating for the rest of us?
Victory is not translating.
Okay, then I will translate bits. Whenever
get
I
the
can.
gist.
I'll translate as much as I can manage. Like.
Yeah.
Victory looks forward at this state and calls out, we would meet with your lord. We would speak to them. They look uncertain. She looks to you, Scamp.
I mean, we're going to, regardless of whether you want us to or not, quite frankly. At this point, it feels like a thing we should do. So you can either take us there, or you could be the thing that gets in the way of us getting there.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Oh dear.
I mean, that was clearly a threat.
Very clearly.
I mean, it was, but...
Can I give them
Oh,
inspiration,
dear.
or is that too cheaty?
What do you do to inspire them?
I don't know. Maybe
You can't think of another thing, in which
yeah.
case it just goes as it goes.
I think it's too quick with them.
Yep.
With me not understanding what they're saying.
And I'm not good at intimidating, because I've rolled a 9.
They look... Their hands grip on their blades. Texeria calls out, I do not know who you are, but you do not threaten us!
Ugh. Look, I'm having a really bad day, okay?
And as you say, I'm having a really bad day, Celestia, the world crumbles to pieces around you.
Oh no.
You feel the cold running of water at your feet as you fall out of the world. And something else slips into your place. Oh, sorry, yes, I'm afraid that pastelli...
I've had one sitting there. Shall I cross it out?
Yep, cross out your pastelli.
Oh no.
Celestia, we're going to go you first.
Oh no, okay.
You fall through darkness, the world breaking around you, and land with a smack on a hard, cold floor with wetness around your face and arms. Half the water splashes onto your eye, and you are at once lying down in the water and also standing up, and also somewhere else. It's like it's coming through half of your vision, half of your sight, your ears. You hear screaming, shouts, the clash of battle, and you see through one eye a paradise. The hidden world you were in before. You stand on the edge of one of the terraces on outside with those beautiful hanging gardens, and there is battle happening at the gateway, the doorway out. You can see a mass of figures fighting at the gate. Some are giants, some smaller giants closer to Littleman in appearance, hill giants, others tall with dark, cracked, glowing skin and fiery hair, fighting in heavy armour with hoplon shields and spears. A mass of Achene similarly in armour fighting back against. In others, you can see creatures that are demonic in appearance, things that look like crosses between people and lizards or insects or wild birds. And beyond, flooding in through the gateway, you can see more demonic creatures. Some looking... and they are fighting with weapons many of which seem to be burnished steel, others that look like mermaid-like creatures, fighting back, fish monsters and the like, and more than a few that looks not unlike the other denizens of the bazaar you've seen. Some with stag-like horns, others garbed in shadowy armour. A giant with pale blue skin and a shaved head looks to you.
Who am I if I look down at myself?
Yeah,
am I
and
big?
you look
am I a
down.
giant? Am I anyone in particular?
You are a giant, definitely, from the scale of things. You are...
And I'm now standing in a place. I'm not in between all these things anymore.
You are, but at once, lying half of your face in water in a cold space with the feeling of cold stone. And
Is
also...
that half of me also a giant?
Half of you feels like Celestia on a cold
Cool.
stone floor, half submerged in water. Half of you is standing as a giant, perhaps
Very
nearly
weird.
30 feet tall, with with skin that is both gold and blue, swirling in places. Wearing a toga-like robe, and wielding. It's hard to make out because sections of the scene come into and out of your vision. You appear to have what feels like living thunderbolts gripped in one hand.
Fucking Zeus, that's so cool.
Like half a dozen of them. Your other hand free, in one hand held like spears, your other hand free to throw. And another shorter giant, though not much shorter, is looking to you and speaks in... It's strange. You're at once getting a sense of this is not a language you understand, but you recognize it as gigantic. But in a fractured sense, you also get the meaning that you don't normally get. You're getting...
Very weird.
Yeah, thing is very wrong and broken here. And you get the sense of... Tyrant, what are your orders?
Can you understand me?
You say, and the mouth speaks in gigantic. And there's a blink. Of course, my tyrant. Do we... Another word... We think we may be able to hold off this wave, but more are coming. The gate has not returned to the old world.
Hold off this wave and try and fortify against the next?
He nods uncomfortably. We shall do our best. There's a... You feel your own hand raising to throw a bolt.
Yeah.
The vision becomes cracks, and you're suddenly sat up in the blackness of void, feeling the cold water running around you.
Oh, that was weird. Fuck, where am I?
There is nothing. There is no light. There is just the feeling of cold water beneath you and stone.
Oh, I have a really big panic. I rolled for how much panic I have. I pretty much have a panic attack in the void because there's nothing here and it's dark and scary.
You just you scream a little. Your hands splash to the side. Some of the water splashes onto your face, and for a moment, you feel discontinuity, and you are sat on your throne, looking forwards as
Is it the throne we saw the skeleton
it's
on?
the throne you saw the skeleton
fucking
on.
hell.
And you hear, and there are other giants in front of you. Some of which look older than others. There are a variety of different types. Some that seem to have an icy aspect to them. Others skin cracked with flames and heat. And your advisor, as before, with pale blue skin and a shaved head, you come to midway through an argument, a debate. One of the frost giants is calling out. It calls out. It has been near a century by our reckoning. Surely by now the Empire must have prevailed. We cannot remain here forever. We must open the gate. Try to return to Calcinea. And the fire giant, one of the fire giant calls back. The beacons have not been lit. We have no guarantee that anyone is there to make the connection from the other side. Then, if we try and open the gateway now, we cannot guarantee that we will be able to return. Here is safe. Here is death. How long can we remain? The blue giant looks to you. Tyrant, what is your judgment?
What if it's live here or die there? Die on the way. Which option would you like?
There's another
What
giant.
if there's nobody left?
They look between each other. There's a troublesome frown.
Why haven't we heard word if there are people left?
A different giant, an elderly giant woman with an almost sort of skeletal aspect, thin skin, pale skin stretched over bone. There's almost something of the hag or witch to her. Looks up from where she's sat and says, "The tyrant speaks truth. But, and it may well be folly to open the gate without the anchors on the other side. But there are other worlds, other places we hid. What if we could make contact with one of those?
What, in here?
The gate, if we could open our gate to another gate, somewhere in another of the hidden veils, then we might at least be able to stretch our resources further. It has been a long time since we last knew anything beyond the edges of the veil."
Yeah, surely there must be other places in here we can contact.
The blue giant nods.
Maybe they'll have heard word from outside.
Then we shall set our wizards to it. Let us see if we can touch our gate to another. Crack! You're back in the darkness again. You never left. You felt your body here the whole time, but the sense of double vision goes.
Oh, I hate this, Celestia says. I'm put my face back in the water.
You take a breath, submerge your face again. This time you are stood back on the terrace of your palace again, but now all manner of giants and what appear to be a number of well-dressed Achene and well-dressed demons or demonic figures or figures that look almost like the lawbringers did in the City of Golden Law, with a more sort of celestial feels to them, stand around. There's a great ceremony in place. Music is being played, the banging, the beating of drums, the playing of flutes and horns. as you recognise the old giant woman stood with a number of others by the golden sort of arch gateway that leads beyond paradise. At the moment, just a closed set of doors in the middle of nowhere. But as they complete some manner of ritual, the music reaches its height, you hear a terrible cracking, thundering sound, and you watch as the gates open into darkness, and golden light spreads out, spearing, twisting through the dark, and being met by four, and splitting into four, smashing into darkness beyond, and creating holes, breaches.
Right.
The image cracks again out of existence, and now you are back in the moment you first appeared. You can see the grounds below are littered with the dead. The hordes of demons have almost overcome the defenders. Your blue-skinned advisor, now one arm in a sling, looking with obvious wounds. You can see you have burn marks across your own skin. You have only one thunderbolt left, and you can see empty sort of satchels where of many more that have been spent. The advisor looks up to you. My tyrant, we cannot hold any longer. There is no way back.
What do you want me to do with this? I'll hold up the thunderbolt. What is the right thing here?
They are going to take everything. They're going to destroy it all. We can't break the connections, but perhaps you could seal the gate.
Okay.
You raise your arm, and
I let it take me. Like I feel
Yeah.
like there's a certain this is the past,
Yeah.
so it will.
you feel
Throw it,
your
yeah.
arm throw. The lightning bolt strikes the gate, and the vision ceases. But before you return to your body,
Oh, good fucking luck, gang.
Oh no.
everybody needs to roll initiative,
Okay.
including Celestia, please,
Oh,
so
shit.
I know what your timing is.
Okay. Oh, am I rolling initiative for my body?
Yes, you
Wow.
are.
Natural 20, so that's 25.
Sorry, I'm having a moment. 11. So they don't get in first.
Okay, and for the victory. Okay.
Any change in the awareness tallies? So
No,
cool.
just lost the past tally. Cool. All right, so initiatives: 25 for Corzin. Victory got a 12. Celestia got 11. Scamp got 6. I've noted those down, and given that it is a bit late, we are going to start next time with a complicated sort of battle.
Don't fall in the lava.
Yeah.
Yes, on a narrow ledge besides a river of fire.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I'm just going to quickly remind that. Narrow
It's
ledge,
just true, though.
Yep, narrow
that is
ledge.
what's happening.
river
Okay,
of
everyone
fire.
should really be getting familiar with the high ground right now.
But that is a fight for next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
One final totem still to seek, through endless void and veils breached. Through broken shards of past I slip, into and from a tyrant's grip.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.